Big up, big up, big up, and welcome to the Liberal 12th Man Show. It is Christmas Eve, might be Christmas for some, or it might be just another day for some out there as well. But whatever it is, happy holidays, or just our happy day to you as well, period. Because we have a really good show, I hope, to be put together for you. I know that some are at home with family, some aren't able to be with family, but all the same, this is your Reds family. So hopefully it can play some type of consolation for the fact that we are here to enjoy this day together. So I hope that you guys enjoy it with us. And big up to everyone that is doing so, whether live or on the replay. Certainly wanted to pass that on to you. Make it like a Trent Alexander-Arnold assist to you, and just like perfect pass. So we have the Irishman with us today. We have Lee with us, and we also have Nalante. And I believe JK is going to be joining us today too. It's pretty soon. So we shall see if he joins the crew, but I'm sure that he will when he can. Big up to you, Brian. How are you doing today?
Yeah, great. Like you said, Merry Christmas to everyone that's here. Or if you don't celebrate it, just another winter's day, as I say. But yeah, it's Christmas Eve. We can always find a bit of time.
Yeah, for sure. And Nalante, how are you doing today?
Yeah, echo everything that Brian said. So Merry Christmas to all in the chat, obviously. You guys, yeah. Twins are here. My mom's here, so it's just a bit round back. So yeah,
Oh, I
just
bet.
get ready. Yeah. So just get ready for the usual things today and tomorrow, and yeah, the usual. So yeah.
Lee, how are you doing today too?
Excellent. I'm fine, festive, battle.
I was thinking about you just said something about like Christmas with the family and everything else. I just saw a wild video where they had the Grinch show up to their house, and like there's a big bang at the knock at the door, and the kids are like, what's that? And this Grinch just like breaks through the door, runs down the hallway, tackles the Christmas tree, starts like snagging all the toys and or the gifts and stuff. And this kid's like, no. He goes and like puts the Grinch in a sleeper hold. I was like, wow. Christmas can get real in the streets. You never know what happens. It was pretty funny. They all like the mom and dad obviously knew what was going on. So, but it was like that kid was not going to let it go down. His sister or brother, I don't know which one of his siblings ran out the room crying, but he's like, "This ain't going down on my watch." It was pretty funny. Oh man, yes, Christmas can bring the best out of all of us sometimes, definitely so. So big up. Definitely Chris Angel saying he hopes this new year brings you guys big. Okay,
Yeah, you might want to read it first. Yeah, read it first. Read
big
it
stuff.
first.
Yes, there you
Yeah.
go. There you go. Yes, and almost got me on that one. Almost. Let's see. Anything else? Yes, it would be good to hear some good contract extension news. It would be certainly. But if we don't, it's not the end of the world. We will get and figure out things one way or another. I mean, what's funny about it is I think Brian brought this up on his show earlier, and it's something that I've been thinking as well too, and that is the fact that like even I know there are some out there that want us to go into the January window, get some players, some new players to bring in, whether it's for coverage or maybe as starters. But one thing I've seen, or at least have to recognize, is that I know one of the positions that people have been saying that they want to see some type of possible, maybe I don't want to say upgrade, but certainly bringing in the player like a Zubimendi, or there are even some out there that still want to see Ederson or something like that type concept of bringing in that destroyer style DM. What's unique about what this emergence of Gravenberch has been with our club is something where I think a lot of what that player would have been initially, I think now is a different mindset of what you would want to be bringing in. Because I'm not saying that there isn't someone better than Gravenberch or at the DM or anything of the likes, but I am saying that Gravenberch has been a phenomenal player playing DM for us. And it's one of those cases where I don't think that we want to try to replace him. And the only other thing that we could try to do is possibly find him a backup or understudy. And is that so essential for us to have in the January window? I'm going to ask this question to the panel. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? What I've just said, in the sense of, is the DM such the dire need that we need to upgrade or replace as it was going into the new year with the summer, from the summer?
We can't say for sure because we haven't seen it yet, have we? Us being without him for an extended period, but if it does happen, it's more than likely to. At some point, he'll miss a few games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of midfield reject do we have then? Is it McAllister, Jones, and Szoboszlai, or does Endo get a shout? We were talking about this before. Having a backup for Gravenberch, basically, if he is out. Whether we need it or not. I think we do. I think it'd be a good move. I think it'd be a sensible move. It doesn't have to be a massive name or anyone that'll get you excited. Just somebody that slot things could do the same thing and be an understudy and learn from him. And then just like initially when they come in, just be available, you know what I mean, in case he isn't.
Mm-hmm. And I get that too, because I mean, like, it'd be one thing though if you were saying, oh, we're looking for understudy to Fabinho, for instance, who was a player that was phenomenal and was obviously one of the top players in his role, but he was starting to get to that age where you are trying to find somewhat of a player that will eventually replace him, if not challenge him for the role. But Gravenberch isn't in that stage of his career. So is it a case where maybe that's not where we should focus our attention especially in the January window? How do you feel about that, Jake? JK's in the house too, by the way. Just saw that JK's here.
That's right.
JK.
He's out.
How do you feel about that?
Like for me, I've wanted a DM ever since sort of Fabinho's time. I think Fabinho is very important why we won what we won and stuff. And I think having a DM in a club is very sort of important. I think Rodri has sort of gave a DM like the limelight, that position. You know, a lot of youngsters will be like, yo, I want to play in Rodri's position. You know, like for me, a DM isn't for everyone playing DM. You've got to be special, tough. And for me, Rodri is like one of the best. So for me, we got Endo. And for me, Endo always does a job. I think he's found his feet in the Premier League, so you can rely on him. I don't know why people moan at him, because every time he's played, he's doing okay, you know.
Yeah. Every time he's played, I think he's done pretty
well.
Yeah, pretty well. 8 out of 10 times he's done a job in his role. But
I think the only thing what was wrong with him, he couldn't find, like the yellow card situation when he first started. He was giving yellow cards where he fouls away because of the pace. He never got used to it, and then bang, he got it. And then ever since then, he's been spot on. But for me, I'd love to get what would I like in this window coming up?
Yeah,
I would like a midfielder if I'm really going to pick a player. Because like we've got our three, we've got Sabotsalai, McAllister, and Gravenberch. And then after that, we've got Elliot, Jones, say Chiesa maybe.
He's
And
more.
that's it.
I would put him probably as a forward more than a midfielder. But I got what you're saying.
Chiesa, yeah. But you could drop Chiesa in the midfield. I reckon he can still do a job. But for me, we haven't really got like a world class midfielder. Like for me, out of our three midfielders who start games, for me, McAllister is the best. Like top quality and stuff. Just to add another top quality player in there, to give each player a Sabotsalai. Curtis can replace Sabotsalai anyway, to give him a rest or vice versa, you know. But for me to give McAllister a rest, another guy on his sort of level of class, you know, Zubamendi is a name that's been talked about. I can't say too much about that guy. I can't say that I've watched enough games how good he is, but he's good. You know.
So it's
The
about
midfielder to
finding.
me.
It's about finding a. It's about finding a complementary player, or it's about finding a replacement player that for you. Like, are you trying to upgrade, or are you trying to just simply find a player that is going to be able to serve the role of, if this player gets injured or if this player needs rotation, he can play, but not necessarily.
That's it. Just to add something to the squad to make it even better, not to replace anyone. Because for me now, like when you looked at that Tottenham game and the Man City game, them three guys who played the midfield were the three guys that Klopp got, and then it was the time where they all played well together. In the Tottenham game, them three together played wicked. Against Man City, they did the same. So for me, if them three are on top of their game and they play all well together, that midfield is perfect. So for me, it would just be a guy to add to that, just in case McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch needs a rest.
Okay. How about for you, Brian? Same question.
Yeah, we fairly deep, long discussion on it earlier on. It's what we needed before Gravenberch's emergence was different to what we need now.
Right.
You know, like I was saying earlier on, before what we needed was a 60-70 million pound player to come in and anchor our midfield, and he would be our starting guy. Now Gravenberch emerges, it's like, okay, so that might not necessarily be what you need. Now you got a guy playing his role, but he's still different. Like, I think Endo not being played basically other than a few minutes in the league shows you that Klopp doesn't really want to play, or Slot doesn't really want an out and out destroyer number 6.
I can
so I think earlier on, I think there's a world where a guy comes in and Arne Slot will say, all you guys are thinking, I just want to play with Gravenberch holding, and if someone comes in, it's like I can bring in a guy and he can play with Grav in a double pivot, and Dom might lose out for a game, Mac plays a game, you can, whatever it might take, you know. I think there could be a lot of options there. I think definitely we need someone to come in who basically Slot would play. Yeah, the understudy is a word I use. I mean, that can be misconstrued as well, but it's a squad player. It's someone that's able to come in, maybe like a Harvey Elliott in the DM role, as in someone that's young enough and isn't going to play every game. But yeah, no, I definitely think we need someone to come in. Is it absolutely essential in January? Look, even if Ryan Gravenberch managed to stay fit, and why not, between now and the end of the season, do you want him to have to play 90 minutes in every single Premier League game and every single Champions game and every single Cup game? No. So there's going to be room there for something to happen. I think we can bring in a high quality player that can fit into our team and both, like you said, complement Gravenberch, and if needed to be, play the same role that he plays if he's suspended, if he's injured, if we want to rotate. And all of that, we have other players in the team. Like the lads are saying plenty of times, if he's not going to use Endo, well, just, you know, don't use him. Bring someone else in, whatever it might be. But to me, there's a spot there for someone. It was something they wanted to do in the summer. I don't think they've changed their mind on that. But it would be really interesting. But I definitely think the profile level seniority of the player that we needed to bring in the summer is definitely different now that we've seen what Gravenberg can do. That it is much more someone that can come in and complement him, not to come in and definitely, absolutely, 100% no to getting rid of Gravenberg, replacing him, dropping him, nothing like that. No way, no way.
I think also for those that were were so somewhat unconvinced by Gravenberg, it's very interesting because a lot of times we hear all these things about Gravenberg this and Gravenberg that, and this is a totally complete new role for him. It's a role that he's definitely made into his own. But now that we do have this player playing this role, and we've seen how exceptional he has been at it by unlocking certain parts of not only his game but the way that our formation can work with him, a part of it in this role. Maybe it's time to focus again on trying to figure out how we can find someone that can certainly complement him, like you said earlier, and also back him up if necessary. But we're not necessarily looking to go back and say, oh, well, we're going to bring in Zubamendi to be a starter and we're going to have Grav sit on the bench, because one of the three of those players is going to have to find the bench.
It's
if
Jones. It's Jones that loses out for me.
I don't even think Jones is
the times that hasn't been available this season or been took off early. Jones has come on, and we've had McAllister, Jones, and Soboslai. But I don't think that balance is as good with Jones.
I think that, the early part of the year, Lee, or early part of the year, and I'll let Brian finish his comment. The early part of the year, it was primarily our midfield was Grav, Maka, Dom. That was our midfield, right? There was a moment where Dom definitely was being the talk of the fan base, but also was somewhat struggling to find his shooting boots, and be able to put that aspect of it. Now that he is kind of gotten his swagger a little bit back, I think that it is safe to say that he is now once again possibly the more more likely to start in our midfield as a part of the three. But Jones is a capable player that can play in his role, could play in Maka's role if necessary, or maybe even in Grav's role if necessary. I think the versatility of Jones is immense, but
that's what I was going to get to.
Yeah. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
I just think in the numbers game, in the game of numbers, in the game of who plays where only 11 can start, you bring in for the sake of argument, a Zubamendi, right? That then gives you Zubamendi, Mac, Grav, Dom. That's then one fewer place for Jones to get into that team. He's the one that would get pushed down that pecking order. Dom wouldn't get pushed down the pecking order. Mac wouldn't. Grav wouldn't. It would be Jones. So just by dint of the other players, he would be the one that would then have one further obstacle in his place. So yeah, that he would be the one that I would say would be the immediate collateral damage were we to bring in someone like that. Because Dom, Mac, Grav, like everyone's saying, that was, and I still think that's a superb midfield when it's on side. Absolutely superb. I'd be happy for us to run a season out with Grav, Dom, and Mac as a three. But if you were to bring in someone else, so then Jones needs minutes, then Elliott needs minutes. So if you were to bring someone else in, he to me would be one of the ones that would lose that. But again, it's all where we've got Jones and Elliott, I think, kind of invaluable to what they can do in a team between now and the end of the season. Their availability, hopefully, their versatility, and used to not being fully squad players. Right. Elliott is used to being coming on and making a difference. So, but yeah, look, every time someone comes in, if he's a big guy, someone gets bumped down. And eventually, somewhere down the line, someone gets bumped down a spot, a tier, whatever you want to call it. But to me, it would be Jones would be the first guy to lose out. Really, am I on my own on that? I don't know, but
yeah, I see what you mean. He'd have less minutes, but he'd still play.
No, he's not out the building. I'm not saying he's out the building, but yeah, just in terms of he may have gotten 800 minutes before that. Now he might be more like 400, kind of.
Yeah,
thing. Because Mac and Dom are the big names, the big purchases. You know, Grav is Grav.
Mm.
You know, a new guy. It's always going to be.
I
But it's on merit. It's on merit.
Yeah.
You know, Jones can get in the team. But
Well, this, you know why I bring it up, because I wish I would. I don't know if Quaz is listening from his office, or if he is going to watch this on replay, because I know that he is a very, very loyal supporter of the show too. Quasi Bowl TV. If you don't know, you better recognize. Definitely so. But a player that he loves to bring up, a player that I definitely appreciate, or I think, and a player that JK could probably speak at length on, and that is Musiala, is in the news lately because once again Musiala is being a possible target for some of the big name teams out there. He hasn't signed his extension with Bayern Munich just yet. The unique thing is, and let me make sure I classify this right by I'll bring up the quote that I saw real quick. Basically, I'll just paraphrase it. Basically, he's open and willing to possibly to sign a new deal. It says there is still no full agreement between FC Bayern and Musiala and his management regarding a contract extension beyond 2026. Key points of this agreement remain salary, contract length, and the inclusion, and this is the key part that I wanted to bring up, the inclusion of an exit clause for Musiala. Bayern expect concessions from Musiala soon. However, it's important to note that Musiala still wants to extend his contract. The goal is to reach an agreement by January 2025. That's according to Sky Sport in Germany. Now, I bring that up because it is something that Bayern Munich does not do really with their contracts, and that is include release clauses in their contracts. That's been noted.
Yeah, so, they don't get done over like that. They don't get done over. Yeah, they are very much the club that does that to other teams. Mm-hmm. They don't get that done to them. Mm-hmm. So that to me is like basically saying, like, you know, someone's asking you to kind of, you know, stay, you know, can we, I don't know. Oh, let's stay together, and you ask them to do something. Okay, we'll stay together, but as long as you agree to this one completely unreasonable thing.
Right.
Because you're saying it because
you don't
want to know they're going to say no.
Right.
It's like you trying to force them to say, oh, hell
be
no.
the bad guy.
Yeah, because he knows Bayern are never going to agree to something like that. Like they're the team that goes and gets a player from another club because he has a release clause.
Yeah,
you know, they ain't letting that happen to them. No,
right,
way.
And that's why it's interesting that is a big part of what he wants to say. I mean, he's already out there doing very similar things as someone that we all know, part of this club. But anyway, the sheer fact that he's putting out, you know, I would say somewhat demands or some type of things out there into the media sphere and saying, hey, you know, I want to be here. I want to extend, but these are my demands, you know, and knowing that Bayern doesn't do those things. And it would make him a special case, whereas he has I don't want to say get out of jail free card, because I don't want to say Bayern Munich is a jail, but you know what I mean by that, as in, you know, he can get out of, he can reconsider what he wants to do by trying to get the right release clause on his contract. And then obviously he's not going to make it where Bayern Munich could be like, okay, well, let's do possibly something like you see in Spain, which is, we'll make it I don't know, a $1 billion release clause or something ridiculous, you know, and that's just not going to happen. So it's very interesting to see where this goes. And what the reports are saying is that Liverpool knows this, and Liverpool are very interested.
When can he walk?
Huh?
When can he walk?
Next year. He's got 18 months on his deal.
Yeah, you see, this is the thing. Trap Joe was saying there, Musiala and Yamal are like the hottest new kids on the block. you have to spend so much money to get them good. Look, this is the thing, dude. Musiala is basically playing poker now. He's like, well, I'll be free in a year.
Mhm.
You know, and you look, yeah, nobody's buying Yamal. That ain't happening. Nobody's even talking about that.
Right.
But yeah, Musiala's playing poker now. It's like basically sign me up, let me go for even with a year left on his deal, someone like Musiala should cost you around 60, even with only a
60,
year
yeah.
left on his deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with 5 years left on his deal, you're not getting him for less than 120 or
50.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's playing poker now. Bayern have been forced into a corner. They don't like that. Bayern do not like to be
No,
JK.
traditionally they don't respond well, do they, when that happens?
No. They want to be the
The-
big dog, JK, don't they? Bayern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bayern they always seem to be like a club that don't mess about. Look at Mane. He went there. And you think Mane would have been star for him, bro. He didn't even really get game time. It's just a weird sort of way, the way they have so many top players, and some of them see if you're not right mentally, or you don't fit the program, or your face don't just fit the kitchen, or whatever, you're not going to get game time there. You know, Harry Kane is a perfect guy to walk into that club and get on with it. It just suits their model. But if you're going there, like at least say he's gone there, he's done fairly well. He's getting game time. But for me, their best player is Musiala. He is so good, man. Like, if I wanted a player from Bayern Munich, he's the guy I want. Him or the left back, out of the two. But I like Musiala. I think he's top draw. Germany's best player, I reckon.
But it also is big to note that Bayern Munich, along with other teams in Germany, tend to certainly, and this is why I think Gravenberg had a little bit of an issue or problem trying to find his way into the lineup and consistent way into the lineup. I'm not saying that you can't be in the starting lineup if you're not German, but they have a preference for highlighting German players, I think, in Bayern Munich. I think I'd be safe to say that.
Thomas Muller's still getting game time.
Yeah.
Well,
If he was from England, if he was from like
he's from England,
Leicester,
he'd be shipped out to the MLS by now. Yeah,
yeah. Like
he's
they'll
done.
never.
All due respect, MLS, by the way, too. Yeah.
No, they'll never do anything to the detriment of Bayern Munich. But yeah, no, I think it's more that it's part of their makeup is to have the best German players playing. If there's a top German player, they want to have. If there's a German player that could be going to Barcelona, Real, all these, they want them, and of course they're German clubs. You'll have their stuff. Yeah, they have that thing about them where they always want to have like the top German player playing at Bayern. So the Musiala thing, who should be a Chelsea player, basically, dropped the ball on that one. Should be an England player, dropped the ball on that one. Now he plays for Bayern in Germany.
Better for him, I think.
Yeah, I think, but JK, I think he is the most like. Yeah, there might be a more kind of rounded, efficient, dominant. But if you're talking about just pure natural ability on the ball, Musiala is up there, probably their best player. Wirtz is incredibly gifted, but if you're looking for someone, not that's why you can see that he's not actually really German. You know, he comes from that kind of English street baller
London
kind of thing.
sort of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that Raheem Sterling. Well, not Raheem, sorry, but early days kind of vibe going on. And he likes to dribble the ball, he likes to carry the ball. He's special, good player. So, yeah, he's just looking at them going, I think he's probably saying, I'm not going to sign a new deal. So sell me this summer and get your 60 or 70 because it's either that or we have a load of mess. And you know what Bayern are like? They'll just refuse to play him or something. If they don't sell him in the summer and he doesn't sell, Bayern will just
try to
stick him
do
in
what
stands.
PSG basically did to Mbappe. Then you're saying
That's what they did it to Mane. Oh yeah, Bayern are big like that. They'll just say we don't care who we are.
Yeah.
If you're trying to disrespect us, we just stick you in the stands. Don't care if you're Lothar
Simple.
Matthäus.
They don't mess about.
Don't care. Yeah, they don't give a shit. Because it's all run by ex-players, and they're all.
Haven't they?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Lee?
They've always got players desperate to join them, you know, because of the name and the club they are.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's there. If you're a player in Germany and you just started your career off like that guy at Frankfurt now, scoring all them goals, the Egyptian guy,
Mhm.
You can imagine if he does it again next season, Bayern Munich will be after him. Because
Yeah.
Bayern Munich like getting players who are doing well in the Bundesliga. They'll be like, fuck, are they going to do it for another club? We'll rather have them here. Look at Lewandowski, bro. Like, look how he did at Bayern, man. Look at his goal rate. It was just madness.
Yeah. I don't
Almost
know
made
if Harry Kane has. I don't know what Harry Kane's contract is, Red Armchair Supporter. I don't think that there's a route back to England, a feasible route back to England that is
No,
But
going
don't you reckon he wants that goal? Don't you reckon
considering
he
how
wants
much
that
they
goal
spent
thing
for him.
from Shearer?
Yeah. There's an opportunity. I mean, like, yeah, there is certainly I'm just saying for this immediate, this January, much less maybe even next summer. I don't know if there is a route for him to get back to England within the next year or so.
Yeah, Kane's on about 400 grand a week or something.
Yeah, that's.
I
think that's like euros, but still all the same. That's still a lot of money. That's
Mm-hmm.
still a lot of money.
Like Jared is saying here, Jared is saying, sorry, he's saying more and more players are doing an Mbappe.
I've been saying that from the very. I've been saying that consistently, and people
you have to think about it.
Aren't really listening, or some aren't at least.
Yeah, but you have to think about it as well. This has been coming for years now.
Yeah, this isn't a new phase. You're right. You're exactly.
No, but if you have to, because when you imagine it, think about it for a minute, right? You're one of the best players in the world, right? You're one of the best players in the world. Like you're in the top 2 or 3.
Right.
Right now, that means you're going to cost what, 200 million, 180, 200 million. That means that basically your options in world football are almost nil, unless a club that you want to go to has 180 million to spend on you, right? Like, because that's how much it costs. Even if you would love to go to Barca, they would love to buy you. You're at Manchester United. You're at Chelsea. And you're the next freaking Ronaldinho. You want to leave, but you're going to cost 200 million. Maybe a Saudi club could afford you. The fact is because you're going to cost so much as a player. If you're one of the best in the world, you almost probably only have the one choice of a club, or you might get stuck with no choice. So if you're free, now you have the whole world at your feet. It's the fact that when you're that good, you've now become so expensive. That's what's made this, in my mind, has swing the other way, because the players that, even if they were the best in the world, they might only cost like 25, 30 million. Clubs could still buy them. Now these guys are so expensive. If you are that good, the only chance of you actually getting to move away somewhere to have any kind of a choice in where you go is if you're free, because the costs in buying you will be so big. I think that's a huge part of it.
Okay. Yeah. His contract expires 2027. Okay. Well, then if that's the case, then yeah, he's going to be there at least for another year, most likely. That's a healthy weekly wage, and also a contract that is definitely set there. It's kind of similar to why, like, look, I would love to see an American be on this team. And why, there's been talks about Robinson maybe joining as a left back, but yet he's signed to 2027. He's not making crazy money, I don't think, but he's signed to 2027. That makes a difference. There's even, like, I know people aren't going to be over the moon with this report, but like there was a report that Liverpool were weighing the options on maybe even going in for a player that they had been interested in before, but who ended up going to Chelsea and now plays for AC Milan, and that is Christian Pulisic. Apparently, he is not on crazy wages, but AC Milan apparently know that there are some choice pursuers of him, and they're going to try to extend Pulisic's contract again, as he has like, I think, 2 years left on his current deal. So they're looking to make sure that he stays, since he's really hit the ground running in Italy for them. But it's a name that was thrown out there as Liverpool being someone that would be interested in his services. I don't necessarily see that as being the case. He is a versatile player, but I don't know if he would be he's not going to. I don't know if this is the right team for him at the moment, considering I don't think he comes in and is definitely not a guaranteed starter, and he's a player that would have to certainly fight for a position on it if he was going to try to make something of it. So, with that said, we do have some other notable situations as well, because we do have still the confines of figuring out what's going to happen with our three of our big three players. They're not the only big players on our team, but certainly three of our big players on our team. We have BVD still looking to solidify his contract. We have Mohamed Salah still looking to solidify his contract. And we have, obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold, possibly in that order. Or maybe BVD would be ahead of Mo Salah, as in the surety that they might be re-signing with us. But that is still looming over us. We would certainly like to have a little bit of I guess, Christmas cheer to hear that those one, if not two, if not even three of all those deals are all completed. But we are still in a little bit of limbo over it. What do you have to be, if you could have a holiday gift, I'll call it that, okay? Which of the three signings do you want to see get done the most out of the three? And I'll start with Lee, then I'll go Lee, Brian, JK, and then Nalante. That way, make sure Nalante gets a chance to come off mute for it. So Lee, you're getting one present under the Christmas tree. So I know you do celebrate. So which of the three is the top priority for you?
Of the contracts that haven't been signed,
Yeah.
Wow, that's a tough one because
Jolly Saint Nick drops down the chimney and he has three contracts in his hand, and he says, "I'll go over and get one of these signed." Which one are you sending him to get signed?
I'll say Virgil. That's what I said months ago. Like, I'll still say it. Virgil, then Salah, then Trent.
Okay, you only get one. That's
no, I'm just saying if I could say in order, like, like got used to the idea a bit that Trent might leave now and that we'll have to be having Bradley instead. If it happens, it happens. I'm gonna see us without Virgil or Salah though. Or I haven't even conceived of it, to be honest. Whereas I have with Trent, because of just the way things are and his age and that, like, and what we've heard. I've got used to that a little bit in my mind that he might not be here, but I'd go mad. I'd go insane. That's being a straitjacket if we let Salah or Virgil walk.
Okay. I kind of forget which order I did say. I think let's just go with Brian next. How about that? And then we'll go JK and Lante. Brian, what would you? Who's the person that you're sending Jolly Saint Nick back to get their signature?
Mo. I go with Mo.
Oh, Mo. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I would have been VVD a couple of months ago. Might have been BB, but right now it's.
You're seeing how important. All three are important.
Well, exactly. I mean, it was a minor needle shift. I thought maybe Mo was kind of heading for the horizon, but now that he seems like he wants to stick around, then yeah.
All right. Got a mission for Jolly Saint Nick. All right, JK. How about for you?
I'm gonna go with Trent.
Okay. All right. Trent's on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least we got them all covered. So at least we're getting all three. We're getting all three signatures if this were to ever happen. But all right, Trent. All right, why Trent?
Because of his age, he'll probably be longer at the club than both out of the three.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably got another six years with us.
Okay.
So in that way, he'd be the more important one. Like for me, for the team, Virgil's the most important. But for me, I just think Trent. I don't know. I just don't want him to play for anyone else. He's from Liverpool. And when I look at Salah and I look at Virgil, they would be more than happy to stay at Liverpool for another 2 years. No problem.
Okay.
Trent's the one who's a bit tricky, you know. Hence
Okay.
why I'll take him if I had the choice.
Alante, let's make sure Alante is with us to answer the question. All right. Well, I'll let Nalante answer it when he is ready. Because there is out of those three, I see the chat answering for this one too. Red Armchair supporter went with Salah. Realism Jared went with VVD. Red Armchair supporter changed his name, his choice actually. By the way, he said VVD the last time it was asked, but with Salah in his form, it's Mo for him. Luke B said Verge for him. Philip said Mo. Bernie said Mo for her. It is kind of interesting how we're all the chat I didn't see any Trents in the chat, which is kind of interesting, but how everyone is pretty much split as to who is the top priority. They're all a priority in itself, but I mean, like, as in who is really the top priority.
It's Hobson's choice by 3. If you know what I mean, it's either one you say you leave out 2, where it's like,
and that's why
I think we're getting 2. I think we're getting 2, but just in real life, I think 2 get done and 1 doesn't. Okay.
Big up Ravenites in the house too. He said VVD is the most important to him as well. I see you now. Realism Jared is saying without VVD, we'd look like a totally different team. Not that Salah isn't as important. We already definitely understand that. There's no knock by saying one, you choose one over the other. Just, that's not saying anything negative about the others. We definitely want to make sure that's
defender, our most important attacker.
Yeah. And Bernie thinks that all 3 will sign. I'm hoping that Bernie is right.
Yeah, man, Bernie.
Yeah, I'm hoping that that's all right.
right.
There's a name on there. There's a name on there too, because like I know some people have like gotten to the point where like, we don't. I've heard some people say wild statements about, we don't need Trent or blah blah blah, and I'm just like, okay, let's just not get too crazy. I think all these players have their own ways of contributing to this team and important to the team for their own reasons, but. With Trent, it's a unique situation, obviously, because he's a younger player, so that puts him in a different category than, say, VVD and Mo, who are obviously in their 30s. And also just the sheer fact that Trent is from the city, so he does represent a lot more than just some international player or maybe even an England player playing for the team. He is one of the Reds' own. So I know that the comment that Red Armchair supporter offered up earlier is a comment that I've been saying quite often. You have to keep in mind that we have heard that he's been offered quite a considerable healthy raise to his salary to entice him to stay. He's been he knows that the fact that there's only one way really that he's going to be able to go to and this is Trent that I'm speaking on. There's only one way that he's going to be able to go to Real Madrid, and that's most likely through a free transfer, excuse me. And
easy, Jeff.
And the sheer fact that he would, and this has been reported at least as well, that he would be offered a contract that is considerably less than not only the contract we're offering him, and that is being us as Reds are offering him, but also it might be even a pay cut to what he's making currently at Liverpool is what is being reported. And that is something that says volumes. If he were to say, I'm going to leave Liverpool without any compensation, I'm going to leave Liverpool for getting an offer to make a pay raise. I'm going to leave Liverpool to go to a team and make less money. Okay. I'm going to leave Liverpool in possibly the building of a club that is arguably in contention for not only the Premier League but also the Champions League, and will only get stronger hopefully as this coach continues to form this team around the image that he wants to see its most potent. That says a lot, Trent. I don't understand if you recognize that or not, but it says a lot. And I think that something of the legacy that he spoke of trying to build would be somewhat hampered if he were to make a decision that that really underlines those points I just brought up. That's something that would definitely hit hard, I think. I don't know if people agree on that one or not. But the other part and point is this too. There's another player that's in the works of getting a new signature. We all know that Konate is very close to getting his signature done too, and that's not the player I was going to say. The player I was going to offer up is, I don't know if Chris is still, hopefully Chris is still in the chat, but Mr. Lucho is now in negotiations for a new contract. Now, there's those of us that do value the Samba King, but there are those that have not put the same value on this player. And he is a player that is definitely underpaid in comparison to his peers in the league, much less even in Europe. But he is working towards a new contract. He is signed for I think till 2027 at least, I believe. Is he a player that you give a healthy contract increase? Now he's looking at possibly getting a contract that would be more on the lines of the players that are in his league and what they're making. Are you comfortable giving Diaz that kind of contract? Or do you make a stand in the sand and say, hey, we're gonna play out this contract for a little while and try to find you a destination? Or
don't cheap him. Give him a decent contract. He's on a really low contract. Give him a decent contract. I say.
All right. Do you give him a contract and even an extension, maybe?
Yeah, not too extravagant. Like what's he's on? Isn't he on something like 70 now or 55 or something silly?
55K, I think, is what he's on a week.
Well, I'd say a raise to about 180, 200 would be good for him. Be worth that, wouldn't he? What do the other forwards get? What does Gakpo and Jota get compared to him?
I don't have the list in front of me, but I know that all the players that signed, and it's unique too because like it depends when you resign. This is speaking from the time that I spent in that world. You're going to sign most likely to a contract that is obviously like double your current contract with whatever team. That's the incentive to like get a pay raise and make the move. And then you're also at least a double. Usually is right around the bar. And then you're also going to, look for a healthy length of a contract. So at least you know that you're going to be assured a certain salary for a certain amount of years. And he was making around 27,000 euros a week when he played in Portugal. Coming to this team, we gave him 55,000. So that's obviously double what he was making, more than double actually, because that was in euros. But 55,000 is what he ended up signing for. Now that he's obviously established himself and has himself now showing that he can perform in one of the highest rated leagues in the world. Yeah. Now he's looking for a real, fair pay contract, which is understandable.
Fair pay for a fair day's work.
Right. So do you emphasize it and get this deal done, or do you play a little hardball with them or figure out a destination for him? Maybe try to figure out something to get him to Barcelona or something along those lines. And this is a player that was I believe was what was reported was that Liverpool were rating at least for his service that you'd have to shell out at least 70 some million, 75 million or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's what he's ranked or rated at on market value, even on transfer market, if you look at that too as well.
I'm not sure I could ever see Barcelona buying Lucho. It's just a link, isn't it?
Well, it's a link that he wants to be true. I know that.
Yeah, I know that.
I know.
Him and his dad, yeah.
At least going by what his dad is constantly talking about.
Yeah, he's definitely worth significantly more than we're paying him. A little bit more than double what we're paying him if he's only on 7. Oh, did you say 55? Right? Because it was some weird thing.
55K is what I remember. At least that's what I remember it being at, like 55K.
That is really low for the Premier League forward.
And keep in mind, Lee, too, and answer. And I want the whole panel to answer, and the chat, please answer too. Keep in mind, this is a player that has now taken on a more.
Do Arsenal have any forwards on his lower wage? You know, Man City haven't.
I was just going to say, this is a player that has taken on a bigger role now on this team, now that he's not only playing left wing, but now occasionally playing the false 9 in what is looking like to be the more preferred lineup for our front line. And I'm sure his agents stating that in the meetings that they have with the negotiations. And he's also a player that certainly would be looked at as being essential. And again, this is a shout out to Cal. This is a shout out to Matt. It's a shout out to the fake Don, Husan, that constantly underrate Lucho. But do you realize that under the last 2 coaches, Lucho has the most actual starts? He's like the 4th in the line of most starts for either Klopp or for Klopp or for Slot, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's some statistic. He's been chosen often.
To be chosen that often says something a lot. Like, and I know people always are ready to slate certain players as this or that, but trust me, if a coach didn't believe in what you have to bring on the pitch, if you didn't think that you have value, he's not going to select you time and time and time again to the point where you're the most one of the most selected players. I remember dropping a stat for last year on people's head about Lucho is behind Virgil van Dijk. Lucho was the most chosen player on this team to be in the lineup.
Yeah.
How old's Lucho now? What age is he?
27, I believe. 26, 27, something like that.
Okay. Klopp said he thought he had a remarkably high ceiling. I think they were the words he used, or that's what he said, basically. He's got a very high ceiling, Lucho Diaz, saying, there could be so much more to come from him in the future. Mm-hmm. That was only after a few months when he come in and went straight into the side on the left. He was saying this business. Klopp.
Who was that?
Klopp.
Who was he saying about?
A really high ceiling.
Who was he saying about?
Lucho. Klopp was saying
about. Who does Luis Diaz play for?
The architect.
Yeah. Who does Luis Diaz play for? Liverpool. Who was Klopp managing Liverpool? As I always say, Lee, if someone comes out and says the opposite, that's a story.
Mm-hmm.
If you're asking me what I would
said about other players very often, he's got a really nice. There was something different that he said about Lucho, so I just remembered it anyway. It went in my head, and I hung on to it. But we don't know if he'll get loads better than what he actually is. I just hope he can sort of not run down so many blind alleys and lay the ball off a little bit earlier and a little bit more often when he's cutting in from the left than what he does. If he can do that, he can be a really devastating player.
No, I'll ask Brian. Brian, answer the question. Let me just put in this.
I was waiting for the
the
original.
The original question. I'll restate it as well. But
no, I know. I remember. You don't need because I got my answer in my head for the original.
Okay. I was going to also just make sure that I'm not saying that Lucho is angling for a leave from Liverpool. I make sure that Plettenberg, who's a journalist out coming out from, I believe, from Holland. I want to say no, Germany. Excuse me,
Germany.
Florian Plettenberg is for Sky Germany. Puts in a report that he says he insists that Diaz feels very comfortable at Liverpool and has a very good relationship with Slot, while there are no ongoing talks with other teams. Now, I want to make sure that we get that clear, that he's not angling or trying to push for leave right now, but it is a deal that will be in coming up on to this last year, if not 2 years on his contract, if we don't get something finalized pretty soon. So is he a player that now has a more essential value to our team? Brian, you can answer that one.
Well, yeah, if I'm the if I'm going to be the Richard Hughes in the room, and apparently this guy's a bit of a robot, doesn't do the whole sentimentality, emotional thing, very much sort of, yeah, not your guy if you're going looking for a hug, apparently. So I think he's going to look at it. I'd play hardball with that agent. I'd make that agent feel like, I'll talk to you next week. I'll talk to you next week. Your client's got a contract. I'll talk to you next week. And I'll see what the market says. I'll see what the market says. I'll leave it hang out there in the air. I'll let his agent get pissed off. I'll let his agent go around and talk to people. And I'll see what people offer us. I'll see how high an offer. I'll see what people are prepared to pay for the guy. And I'll make it a thing. That's what I'd play hardball. I'd play poker with it. I'd see what the market says about him and then go to him with a contract offer. Basically. Because like you said, look, Luis or Lucho, we all know you want your dream move to Barcelona, but your agent has been on the phone to them. We know he has. It's been put out in the paper that you might be available. Guess who didn't ring us? Barcelona. So what do you want to do? Like you're not going to get to 150 grand a week to stay at Liverpool. Maybe, like you said, he should be on more than he is now. We quadrupled his wage when he came from Porto, and we also gave him the opportunity. Forget the money, but give him the opportunity to play for a club like Liverpool. This has made him a superstar in his home country. It's more than just. But yeah, when you look at other people in our squad, even not just but in our squad that are paid more than him, yeah, and probably shouldn't be. So it's how do you marry those two things together? Because he's not 22, he's not Vinny Jr. He's getting to that last stage of his contract. So if he says to us, look, lads, love Liverpool, love what you've done for me, but I've got a club out there that's prepared to offer me 300 grand a week and they'll give you 60 million for me. Let me go there. Okay, Lucho, go do your thing, man. Because we're not going to give you 300 grand. If that's your big contract, because that'll make you till you're 31 on 300 grand a week, cool, man, if that's what you want to do. But we'll make you an offer to stay here, definitely to bring him up to 120, 130, that kind of thing. I don't know. That number is for someone else, but
that's double.
I think we should make him an offer. Yeah, it is a tough one though, because of his age, because of like how good he's already like nobody knew who he was when he was at Porto. Nobody knew who he was. Now he comes to Liverpool, he's one of the biggest names out there, so it works both ways. It really does work both ways. If he thinks he can get something better somewhere else and he only has a few years left at the top money, hey, look, let it go. But we need to get our thing. So it is. I think he's one of the more interesting ones in our squad because of how cheaply we got him wage wise. It was always going to be a little bit of an elephant in the room, that one. The fact that like he's sitting there with someone like Rav, who's taking home, because don't forget the tax rate. So he's on 50, he's taking home 27.5. That 27.5, and you got Mo Salah across the room taking home like 200 grand a week. There is a little bit, not saying I should be on as much as Mo, but the guy is going to be thinking, I could probably be making more money. Short life, short career, big family, lots of people back home. Saudi won't be for everybody. It might not work that way. So it's a real complicated one. And I think from every angle, it's a complicated one. The club's angle, his angle, age, all that stuff. But I will just say the one thing: Barcelona ain't coming to our door with 80 million for him, so that's not happening. He's
Well,
not getting a big offer. We're not getting a big, money offer from Barca. Not for Luis Diaz. They can't afford to go around doing that.
mhm.
No chance. So he's going to have to do the whole go on a free and make them. They'll have to go and pull some levers and sign a kit man and sack a bus driver or something just to get him in the door.
Mm,
So I wouldn't be waiting around for them to make your dream come true. If you know what I mean.
mm. Okay.
Yeah, but for me, the wages we're giving him, that's really embarrassing. For the amount of work he puts in, the amount of minutes he just runs around, endless running around. He probably runs the most in our team. I tell you the truth. And he's on the lowest wages.
Right.
Bloody
Well,
embarrassing,
Jones is
man.
on less. Jones is on 10
Jones
grand
is
a
on
week.
less, but Jones is like on real bad wages, like 15 grand a week or something.
So
10
I'll
grand a
ask you
week.
this, JK. Then I know that, and this is just from a business perspective. I understand that that players have great years, but would you say, as if you were on the board, or if you had the position that Hughes has, let's say, for instance, would you be in the market of giving pay raises to players every time they have a good year? Why not? If anything, too, let's keep it 100. They probably have. He's making 55K, but he's also got incentives that are a part of his deal, of whether he's got team incentives and he's got individual incentives that are a part of his deal.
So he got
That
paid against Tottenham then.
that bump his numbers way up over 55K a week. But
Yeah,
if anything,
genuinely.
it's almost like a bonus at the end, where you're going to get like a lump sum of some money coming to you, because obviously you have to wait to get certain deals, or you have to wait until you reach certain bars to even trigger those incentives. But
yeah,
go ahead.
No, I just want to quickly say, you just said a minute ago that Diaz is like fourth choice being picked in the first 11 for the last two managers.
Right.
Klopp loved Diaz. He always played
Right.
Diaz. Slut like Diaz. He sort of nearly plays him all the time as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, a guy who's worth that much to the team or the club should be on better wages than 27 grand taken home. That's the piss take. And that's really embarrassing for me. Like,
we signed him. I mean, he signed it.
He signed. I know he signed the deal. That's why I'm putting it that way.
Yeah, but for me, bro, like, if someone sort of like, for me, Diaz hasn't been great for us, but he's had moments of world class in him. But the work rate he puts in, the club should be looking at. I think, you know what? Since Diaz has joined us from Porto, has he improved? Yeah, I think he has. Should we increase his wages like a good gesture because he took the low wages at the start? Have a bit of heart, man. When someone like Salah, who deserves it, gets 350, you got Gravenberch on 140, you got Chiesa's on top wage as well. Then you got Diaz, who does the most work rate in the whole team, taking 27 grand home a week. The club should be looking at that. My opinion.
I was trying to make it the point that I get that Chiesa's making a lot of money, but Chiesa was making a lot of money before he came to Liverpool. So unless Chiesa is going to come here and take a possible wage cut, he might have taken a little bit of a wage cut just to do it, but it's not going to be something where you're making half of what you made, or one third of what you made, most likely. Like, chances are, when you come to a different team, you're going to make either a very comparable rate, or you're going to make something double, or something considerably higher than what you're making before. And he signed a 55K contract because he was making 27 before this. So if you told me that, as an agent, if you were to say, I'm going to give you double of what you were making before, chances are they'd be like, okay, that's cool, because they were cool with it in Portugal.
And it was less than what Spurs were offering.
I don't like that.
Less. Yeah, but JK, it was less than what Spurs were offering him. He came in as a player on a punt, and they said, look, like we always say, look, if you do well, and this is the thing, we would have said, look, if you do well, we'll bump your money.
Right.
That's how it works. But also, if you think someone like him, I'm thinking, look, bare minimum, right? If he starts, we win, and he scores 50K extra. He's probably getting 10K to 15K appearance bonus. Probably 10
must
to
be.
20K win bonus, and probably
must
somewhere
be.
around 10 to 20K for a goal bonus, right? Your
So
win bonus will always be
yeah.
highest, because even if you don't do something and the team wins, you get the big bonus.
Yeah.
So if he plays right, we win, he has a good game, he could be easily taking home 100K that week.
Yeah, so like this week he would have like 2 goals against Tottenham. He got paid.
Yeah, he's a nice little bump. Yeah, he's had a nice little bump just before Christmas.
You know what I mean? But
A lovely little bump. So, we are highly incentivized. I'm not sure how high we are now, but it was something that we did at the start. Was basically, we'll offer you 100K a week, right?
Right.
But if you win, play, and do well, you can take home maybe 220. Whereas Man City will offer you 150. But your best you take is 170, that kind of thing. We put huge back end on the bonuses, which is to incentivize players. It's like you could potentially earn an extra 100 grand in a month, or a million quid in 6 months, just by playing well, or 2 million quid over the course of a year by playing well and getting in the team. When it all adds up, it's highly incentivized. Some people don't want that. Some people just want their 300 grand a week guaranteed, even if they're sick, they don't show up, they don't care. But some people, you bring them in and you.
How do you feel
fire them
about
up with that money?
Can I ask I'll ask the chat too, and I'll let Lee and Nolante get in on this one too. Liverpool has certainly has a wage budget. I know that there are those out there that are just like, pay them whatever they ask for and keep it moving. And obviously, those are people that don't mind spending other people's money because it's not theirs. That's how quick and easy they are with it, But what I was going to say is that, keeping a reasonable sense of the word of being able, yes, you have to keep some kind of idea of a budget for the likes. Do you have an issue with Liverpool having not only the wage budget that it has, I guess, let's just skip beyond that, but do you have a problem with Liverpool having a wage structure that is more incentivized towards production and results than it is in base salaries? And that's something people. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd be much happier if there was more and more and more of this, like throughout football, not just our squad, just throughout football. I think it'd be good.
Okay. How about Realism Jared says nope. I don't know what that one was for, but it says every night.
You know what it is, Reverend Knight? I understand what you're on about. It's like, it's a lot of money, 55 grand a week. Don't get me wrong. But when you're on that sort of stage and you're seeing, you're on that stage to earn a lot of money. So when you're there, you want to earn that money. Like for me, Diaz is at an age now where he should be earning at least 100 grand a week. At least. That's what sort of pisses me off about that Diaz wage, because he's at an age now where he should be earning top dollar, at least good wage, at least 100, 120 grand a week. Look at his work rate, bro. Me and you discussed this a number of times.
Oh, I get that.
But how does he get that number, JK? How does he get to that? Okay, let's just say, right, he's on 50K, right, at Liverpool. So he should be on 120. What does he do? Does he walk into the office 6 months and go, change this, make it happen? I mean, he's locked into that contract. I know what you're saying, but I don't think it's a slight on the club, man. I don't should we immediately run and bang this door down and said, oh, we're sorry, we treated you badly, here's 200K? What would we do? I get what you're saying. He should be earning more. Everyone agrees he should be earning more.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not like we've somehow stitched the guy up in some way.
Right. I don't think that it's not like we said, I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful with it because I know of his history. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
But Yeah, I thought you'd be on my side, 12, saying, you know what, we should get more money for the brother.
Oh, I know. No, trust
What
me.
should
I
he have
am.
done? Gone
I
on
am saying.
strike, demanding more money, or the
I
only
know.
way
I
to get
am on
more
your
money was
side
to
that
say,
he
"I
is
demand a new contract."
right.
We all know he should be earning
Way,
more.
if anything, I definitely agree. He should be earning more
Yeah, no,
money.
we're all agreed he should
We're
be
all in
earning.
agreement with that. But the sheer fact that he isn't earning more money, yet he is looked
Because
at
he
on the
signed a
level
long
of
ass
players.
contract.
I was just gonna say he's looked at on the level of players that are earning a lot more money. It is very interesting to see how his reception is amongst other people in our fan base, especially that, here's a player that we have on a absolute bargain of a price for our wage,
We
purposes.
didn't find out the finer details of Darwin's contract, did we? But some of it was performance related, wasn't it? Or it appeared it's related and stuff for Darwin, wasn't it? With the deal with
Yes.
Benfica.
Some of the price tag that for the transfer was initiated for actually
the finer
reaching certain
details.
milestones.
Yeah, exactly what it is that we have to pay him when of what's remaining. It'd be interesting to know.
Right. There are those parts and points, but I mean, with just particularly Lucho's contract, I'm just saying that Lucho was offered a very valued contract, but yet I'm just saying that I don't know whether it was Liverpool that offered the amount of years that they did, or whether it was Lucho's own team that asked for the number of years that they did. But he signed the deal for that amount and for that length of a contract.
People have gone
so I agree that he should. It would be great to see Liverpool do a solid for him and be like, look, we really, really appreciate the fact that we've been able to get away with paying you 55K when you're worth probably 3 times that, and for them to say, hey, we're going to offer you a new deal. That would be fantastic. But unfortunately, they don't have to do that. That's that's the interesting thing why I brought up the whole incentive thing, or getting sometimes it's difficult when we get into conversations, and I would love for it to be about the love of the game, about it being the football romantic style of it, and looking at you'll just play for you'll just play for peanuts, or you'll just play just to
crest.
Yeah, for the crest, and just send the guy home with a 6-pack of beer and he's good or something like that.
Sleep under the cop. He can sleep under the cop.
Exactly. Give him a cot there and he's just ready to do.
He scored 30 goals a season. He'll be happy to live. He wash in the change room. Yeah.
But I know, but again, I'm not I definitely am with you, JK, when you say he deserves more money. He's on the level.
No, we all know. Look, hey, come on. No, can we all just agree that we all know, we're all fully in agreement?
Absolutely. I'm absolutely
is on too low a wage, 100%. But the guy signed a 6-year deal on 55K, which is life changing to go to a club like us. And again, he's considering what we won, the amount he's played, the amount he's the contributions he's made. He will have earned way over that 55K.
And real quick point, I think a lot of us would have issue with him, and certainly have possibly more issue with, the people that aren't necessarily fans of the player, especially because there are parts of our fan base that don't really necessarily care for Lucho as a player, or don't value his ability as a player. If we found out that he was making rumblings and grumblings in the locker room over his salary, I think we would have even more disdainment over Lucho or any player.
If we win the lot this year, then he's got a point.
Absolutely.
Then he's going to have a big puss on him, as they say.
Absolutely.
And he should do.
But
like we said earlier on, because he's
no
looking
way
across
you want to hear
the
about
bench.
Lucho demanding a pay raise immediately.
No, it won't happen. No, but like you said, if he's staring across the dressing room and there's Chiesa, no slight on Chiesa, but there's Chiesa on 120 grand a week and he's not.
Absolutely.
There's your argument right there. There's your argument right there. So it's got to be equated. It's got to be, but yeah, it's got to be done right. It's got to be done to a degree where everyone's happy. But yeah, everyone knows he deserves a pay rise, an increase, whatever it might be. Not a massive extension now, by the way. Not like an extra 3 years or anything like that. Maybe an extra 2 or something. I don't know. But yeah, definitely he's got to be in a triple figure. What would you call 6 figures, right? Like 100K kind of. He's got to be in that group now.
I just pictured
He
Luke
does.
out of bed on Christmas Day with no Christmas dinner and down the food bank or something. You know, the way you see players go and donate to food banks.
Right. Go donate to the go donate to the Lucho salary fund.
Yeah. Down the Salvation Army place or something, one of them places to get a Christmas dinner.
Yeah, everyone thinks he's there to show up and get, donate a big, like, what have you got for us? He's like, no, I'm here for some tin, what have you got for me? I'm only on 55K a week, lads. I need some fucking soup. I need, I got a family to feed. I'm only on 55K a week.
But the prime part of what I was trying to get across, though, is that if there's any player, whether if it was Curtis Jones who's making, or if it was Kelleher who was making like demands about his salary right now, because Kelleher makes absolutely pittance in considering what level of a player he is. And I say pittance in not saying that what he makes is small in the sense of the average person in the world, but for him at his, in his craft and what his peers earn, he's making a small amount. Like, there's certainly an argument to say that, yeah, there are quite a number of players on this team that could certainly deserve, if not could command a pay raise. But it will also mean that I think that one unique thing about the things that we're seeing, for instance, with Real Madrid and the way that they pay their players and the way that they even acquire their players, I think that one unique thing about Liverpool is we do have some of that gravitas to be able to say, okay, cool, that's not enough for you. Well, then you do realize that you're about to play for one of the biggest clubs in the world. If you have an issue with that, then you can find another club.
That's what we were talking about for January, wasn't it? Looking at people in January, it's like, well, look at what's a club that's interesting. It's not a club that's 8th in the Premier League. It's not a club that's rebuilding under who knows what will happen when Slot or Klopp leaves.
Right.
No, it's a team that's top of the league in England, top of the league in Europe. It's like, where do you want to go?
Yeah.
Do you want to go to Man United? Do you want to go to Arsenal?
We are not a place like we're not a place, or not currently a place of desperation. I think that's one of the greatest things that we've the butterfly effect of Slot joining this club at the current spot. And that is that we're not a club of desperation. And some players have made, there are parts and points where people are like, oh, you're so desperate to sign a DM, and especially when we had the Casado incidents and all those, and Lavia, and going out to get Endo and the likes. I just think that we're at a moment in this
here's one for you.
In this path that we're getting.
Chelsea second in the table at the moment, only a few points behind. Just do you think they'll be going out and spending any money to try and aid their title bid in January? Where do you think Chelsea would spend if they could? Defense, more cover in defense to try and help them stay in the title race if they were to hypothetically spend any money this window, which we all know Chelsea love fluttering a bit of cash, don't we?
I can almost argue to say that Manchester City, with their allegations, are a plight on the Premier League and stability of the Premier League, especially for other clubs to maintain themselves as a resource in this league. But I could go as far as to say I think that Chelsea are more of a plight on this Premier League than even Manchester City. And how I would say, and why I would say that, is because Chelsea are a team that they won they ratted on themselves by saying, you know, knowing that it was going to come out that that the former administration had been cheating basically for the last 20 years. And not only was that the case, it was a simple case of, yes, there are other issues that Chelsea have going on, but the fact that Chelsea will figure out any loophole and push it to the, I would say bare minimum, but like push it to the limit basically, and go even way beyond with the 8, 9, 10-year contracts, with the selling of hotels to try to make to where I don't even understand how that is possible.
Absolutely dodgy.
Yeah, to rebudget themselves now to the point where they have 2 teams. They have 40 some odd players that they have on their books, but yet they haven't registered one player from their current squad technically for their starting 11 or starting players in their conference league team. They have the option to once they get to the knockout stage to add players or change up that list. But currently they have the ability to field 2 different teams. If that's the way you get around things, imagine having to pay for a squad of 2 teams worth of players. And I mean 2 full teams worth of players. That's how crazy we are talking about. But yet Chelsea, once again, because there are people out there that are making fun of Chelsea, I along with them, okay, that they need like 3 buses to take their whole team to a game type thing. But that's where Chelsea is, and now people are lauding, oh, this is so great for Chelsea. This is so great. No, it's not. It's not. Because teams like Bournemouth or Forest or teams that are now fighting for Europe are not going to be able to field 2 teams worth of footballers on a senior level team. They're just not going to be able to do that. I think Chelsea in the way that they're run is
yeah. I've been waiting for the wheel to come off on them today, just financially, like they've been able to prolong their own whatever, prolong themselves. It's just been stomach churning, hasn't it? Like to see them be able to do this, like sell hotels and that, and still be able to spend big. I have been waiting for them to just go. Go on, sorry.
No, sorry, Lee. I was going to say, I'll sum up Chelsea like this. Chelsea got 3 dogs, 3 cats, 2 tigers, 2 birds. How does that one work out?
Yeah. All right. I don't think it works out well.
No. Yeah.
Sure. It's a lot of animals. Yeah, Realism Jared brought up this part in point too. Said Chelsea's top earners are all injury prone. Reece James, 250K, Chilwell, 200, Fofana, 200K, and Nkunku has 195,000 on the books a week. We should come up with that. Maybe we should do like a an all-time injury prone 11 or something like that. I think that'd be a good idea for a show. Yeah. Reece James might make it that's one chance, one opportunity Reece James can beat out Trent Alexander-Arnold for as the right back choice.
Or before
12, absolutely rude for you. Shame on you.
Yeah, I don't know if Max, I don't know if it's a private chat. Max was asking to come in if you want. Max is looking to join the show.
But I can't put the link I can't put it into the chat. We'll have to figure out a way to get it to him.
If anybody has is contacted him before on Twitter, have you contacted him before?
If you want to contact me on Twitter, Max, I will send you out an invite.
Yeah. You did ask there just a minute ago. I just wanted to let you know. You wanted to come on and say hello, Christmas Eve and all that. Season greetings.
So again, that's how I look at it. I really do. You look at it differently? Do you think that maybe City with the allegations. Not saying that they're guilty, but certainly we all have our presumptions. Is Chelsea more of a plight on this league than even Manchester City?
It's about time they were on the end of some sort of financial reprimand. What didn't it happen to Chelsea before, where they couldn't buy anyone for a few months or something? That's happened to them before, hasn't it? What happened to haven't Chelsea been punished, but it was just something small that happened to them, like they couldn't buy anyone for a few months or something. Didn't that happen to them once?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that happened. They had a transfer ban. Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah.
That's the reason why a lot of Lampard. That's the reason why Mason Mount. I would say certainly there are those that did want Mason Mount to be a part of the club.
Me.
Okay. And
when Klopp was here about
a
4 years ago.
Bullet dodge?
No, not 6 months. Not 6 months ago. Maybe about like 3 years ago when Klopp was. I thought he'd be a good Klopp player, but yeah, that was a long time ago, in fairness.
Mm-hmm.
Since I was on the Mason Mount, I just thought he was a better version of Henderson, pretty much.
He really messed up, didn't he, stacking Tuchel when he did, and replacing him with Potter. I mean, it was a terrible decision. I thought that, and it turned out to be so, didn't it? Like, he went to a few others since. Now they've got Maresca, but just didn't understand why they sacked Tuchel when he did.
Yeah.
He just wanted to do it, didn't he, apparently, Bowley? He just wanted to come in and make his mark. He said, yeah, I don't like this fella we've got now. Let's have pick Potter who went tits up instantaneously almost. He's just got it back now, hasn't he, from where it was, sort of thing, being like a top 4 side again, a decent side again.
Yeah. I guess maybe I'm alone. Maybe there are those. Yeah, Mason Mount would have been up with it. Yeah, he's making 200. What is he making? 250,000, I think, or something like that a week. Mason Mount, right now.
Yeah,
something like that.
Him, yeah,
no. I just meant like literally years ago. It wasn't so much Mason Mount. It was sort of like Pete. There was a thing going around. Would you rather this guy or Mason Mount? And I was just like, look at the profile. What do you think a Klopp midfielder looks like? Hard working, running. And this was the year after he'd scored like 10 goals. I think he got 11 goals.
Or when he was
in the
player of the season for them.
Yeah, player of the season, all that. Is like he's an archetypal Klopp player, hard running, hard working midfielder, but he has that bit of quality about him.
Right.
But yeah, right now, fuck no. Like, no, obviously not. No, I didn't realize he was has he even played for Manchester United? Like,
he has played
games,
but not many.
That's been a
crazy, isn't it? He's just disappeared because he was good.
Yeah. Huge.
He was good when Chelsea won the Champions League under Tuchel.
Yeah, no, he's not a bad player. Like nobody come out and say he's a bad footballer. If you said he's a bad, look, come on. I just thought he would have fitted Klopp's style of play very well, but obviously being broken all the time wouldn't chime with that.
I remember the fans were excited, like when they bought him. Their fans thought they were on a winner when they bought him. Like I can remember that. Or at least a significant portion of them did.
It goes to where a lot of where Manchester United are at right now. They don't get involved. It seems like a lot of times Manchester United doesn't get involved unless either our team or like a team like City or maybe even Arsenal now. Until they're interested in a player, then that's when Manchester United goes, wait a minute, somewhat like Chelsea. Oh, wait a minute. Who's hot on Twitter right now? Who's trending? Oh, okay. Get me his number real quick. We got to talk to his agent. That's what it
they
seems
played
like.
Man United.
They
totally played Man United. They're like, oh, Liverpool want him. They got 60 million for that guy. 60 million. Like that's one of the reasons people are asking, how are Chelsea able to do certain things about what they do? Well, one of the kind of unfortunate things, which cold hard facts, 600 million. 600 million. That's not how much they've spent. That's how much they brought in around a 10-year period.
Yeah.
600 million
100 million.
in
Yep.
players, so it's 6.
Yep.
That's how many players they sell. And we look at it. Mount for 60, this guy, Lukaku, yada yada, and all of a
Who were
sudden.
the two they sold?
Can I
They sold 2 young players, didn't they, this summer for like about 100 million for the pair?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
they're selling randomers all over the place.
Let me
for
say this. I
40
don't know if
million,
Pops.
50
I don't
million.
know. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your point.
Sorry, yeah, they're selling. If it's like, oh, how you look at the list, it's like, oh, that guy for 20, this guy for 30. Yeah, random young kid, Chukwuemeka or Matt. Yeah, basically randomers that never played for them. 20 million here, 30 million there. And by the time
Yeah.
you know, it's like, geez, they made 300 million player sales in 2 years off people who basically never played for them.
Never played. Yeah. And some in leagues, and sometimes in leagues that were like, you know, that are definitely not even compatible. But I had, because I got into it with I say got into it, but like Flawless tried to call me out on his show because he was trying to basically just like, he was basically throwing Liverpool under the bus about having any opportunity to really make strides forward in either the transfer windows because of, like, let's say because of our summer transfer lack of transfers.
Sorry. Didn't mean to put up. Didn't mean to spill those beans. Oh, sorry. Put it up again by accident. Sorry. Sorry. I didn't mean to.
What?
Yeah, spill your secrets there.
What? I have no idea what he's talking about. But I don't have to. You don't have to keep posting it.
Well, there it is.
Like, I don't know what he's talking about, but it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. We're talking about
I don't. You don't have to tell me about. I can read. But I mean,
Guadalupe. Interesting.
I know.
Must be nice.
I know. He's joking because no one goes
this time of year, maybe.
Yeah.
Some year, maybe.
But what he was trying to call me out for was like, he's trying to put me into a box of whether you're FSG in or FSG out, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with like the success we've had with our transfers per se, whether I'm in or out in behind this administration that currently is our ownership group. But what I think I was trying to stress is that I do know what it's like to have poor ownership, which was Hicks and Gillette. I remember that ownership group. That was an absolute travesty. But I also know that Edwards coming back to the team, and I don't want to trigger JK because I know he's not necessarily an Edwards fan, but the Edwards coming back to this team certainly has put more of a light of what was a successful period for us when it comes to getting transfers that didn't necessarily mean it had to be some high price, high figured name that's the hot name out there. That ends up being like some 70, 80, 90 million pound transfer like your Antony's or was it Madueke? It's not Madueke.
Madueke.
Yeah. Or no. There was the
Nkunku.
He plays for Chelsea. Winger.
Nkunku.
He just got hit up
Mudryk.
on
Mudryk.
yeah.
Mudryk?
Yeah.
Mudryk? Oh yeah.
Like, like high profile, big names that have cost the club millions. And with the PSR rules and FFP rules of the past, that's not what you want to do. You want to go out there and get talent, much less trying to get the big name to say, look, we won the transfer race or whatever you call it, transfer title or whatever the Manchester Uniteds and the Chelseas out there want to have you believing. And they're stuck in that form and phase of thinking. But yet here we are with getting Robos or getting good deals, like if the deal that we got for Sadio Mane was an absolute deal, considering what kind of caliber player he was, for instance, I mean, some could even go as far as to say the deal he made even for VVD, despite the fact that it was at the time one of the largest deals for a defensive player, still even to this day could be considered a massive deal. So I don't know if I don't know if I guess I didn't trigger JK enough by saying Edwards because he doesn't come off of mute, but
I'll give him until January.
okay.
Mhm.
There's only one Michael Edwards.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
There you
yes.
go. I
It's
know.
Christmas time, right?
It's Christmas time. Yeah.
Singing a song.
I think that's because because it's really funny. It's really funny because Ineos for Manchester United fans, they were over the moon. The fact that they were about to get this group coming in that has apparently some type of like even remotely close style of business when it comes to their transfers and the likes of a Liverpool, but yet here now they are. They certainly haven't shown the restraints of that. They've been spending pretty wildly still with the Euro deal, and who else did they get? That was a big name, a big number for them.
Zebedee dude, Zebedee Day, Xerxes.
Yep, that was a big transfer.
Kind of it really. They brought in, I think kind of Mazraoui, the fullback. I think wasn't it Mazraoui, Xerxes, Yarrow. I kind of think that was it. Yeah.
I just think that sometimes I think people don't.
Oh, Delict. Sorry, yeah,
another big,
yeah, Delict.
Not one of the. I would say out of all those transfers, does any one of those high profile, high price transfers really move the needle to the point where now United is going to be in contention for? They're not a club that should be just looking to contention for the top four. It should be a club looking for contention for the league. Yet not one of those transfers does it, for me at least.
No, not really. What were those weird pictures you showed us of Dillet's promotional thing where he turns up with his bird or something on the pitch?
Oh yeah, where he was with his I don't know if that's his girlfriend or his wife, but they do.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, they're all doing they're doing photos around old toilet, but
it's
good that they. I guess he went to the corners that didn't have rats, but that's cool.
Yeah, at least it weren't raining. It was a sunny day, wasn't it?
Oh, the last thing you want is a rat to photobomb you in your picture. But I don't know. Maybe gets lucky. Gets like the pizza rat from New York City. Maybe makes an appearance or something over on holiday at Old Trafford.
How much contractors Rashford got left? Like, what sort of money could they get for him?
Rashford's on at least, I want to say, what, like 300,000. I can tell you in a second. Give me 1 second.
No, I mean, like, well, yeah, you can tell me that as well. But how long has he got left on his contract? Is what I was wondering.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Manchester United's wage bill is stupid, by the way, like high. But let's see.
I think it's 2027 for Rashford, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, it is. He's on 300,000, and he is on till 2028, actually.
Oh, 28. And you know what United are the kings of? United, I really hate Man United because for the last 20 years, every time they sign someone, they give them a new deal, and it always has the option for one more year on the end of it that they can trigger. Mm-hmm. They always do that. Mm-hmm. So even if that's 2 years, he's trying his best.
So 2028 probably has an option for 2029 as well. Basically, what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So he's locked in for life there now, man. You know. 300k, well, that's 365 euros probably. Yeah, that's why I had it 365.
Because again, imagine, Brian, too. Imagine having, and I want to hear your full point, but I'm just going to give the people some reference too. Imagine having on your books Casemiro on your books at 350,000 with 2 years left on your deal. All these except for Harry Maguire and Ericsson are the only ones that have 1 year left on their deal. Everyone else has at least 2 years on their deals. So Casemiro at £350,000. Bruno Fernandes at £300,000. Marcus Rashford at £300,000. Mason Mount at £250,000. Anthony at £200,000. At Matthias de Ligt at £195,000. Then you get to Harry Maguire at £190,000. Jadon Sancho at £150,000. And I only say that because of what Sancho's situation is, with his deal, but he still has 2 years left as well. And then you have Ericsson at £150,000 as well. But the whole point of what I'm saying is that it's a lot of money for players that I don't think one of those players, not one of those players, would you say, yeah, he makes our starting 11.
Yeah, it's been badly run for a while.
Oh,
now.
none of those lads. Oh, Jesus, no. Yeah. No, I was wondering, what, I knew what you're making, but then when you end it, no, there's none of those guys would
Not
even
one.
play for us. Yeah.
Not one.
Let alone get that kind of fucking cash off us.
Right.
Yeah. When
And you're not spending that for a
you get
backup.
in the team.
Yeah, you're not spending that for someone that's going to be like, in case
What's
he gets injured.
direction would you see Rashford to move in if he does go? Who could you see possibly coming in for Marcus Rashford at the sort of price United would want and at the sort of wages Marcus Rashford demands?
No,
Nobody.
I just saw who was I think Luke B just said that he heard that they're wanting 60, at least over 60 M's for him.
Nobody.
Nobody.
They've completely overvalued him and overpaid him.
Rashford has 4 years
not
left on his
300 grand a week.
contract. He has 4 years left on his contract, people.
Yeah, he's good, right? He's good at football. Right. Yeah, he's not 300 grand a week good. He's not 60 million good, but he's he's a Manchester boy. All that shit. So he gets a big contract. No club in their right mind. Look, you either give him the wages or you give them their price, right?
Right.
You're not doing both. You're not giving them what they want and giving him, oh, boy, you're on 3 there. Don't worry. Yeah, you won't be taking a loss. We'll come in and give you the same money, whatever. That ain't going to happen. Unless you want to go to Saudi.
Right.
You're going to do Saudi. PSG, guess what? Because you're
That
not that good, mate. You're not that good, but he's not that good. Yeah, but we're not talking about a good player. We're not talking about an out-and-out done deal. We're not talking about plug and play. We're just talking about Marcus Rashford. We're talking about a player who's just good. He's okay. Goes missing a lot, has huge dry spells. He's streaky as bacon. It's just he can go 6, 8, 9, 10 games without doing anything and then go on a run.
I've never
This
heard that.
guy is not world class.
Streak is bacon.
He's just not world class. No one's going to give you all what Man United will give you.
Right.
Not going to happen.
It isn't.
So where do you go?
But that's a reason why I'm saying, a lot of these players, it's a matter of what team you play for and what is the number. Because if you were to tell me, we just spoke about 55,000. I know these are two different position players, but 55,000 we're talking about for Lucho. If you were to tell me that Victor Lindelof is on £120,000 a week, I would say you're having a laugh.
Or you're playing for Man United.
Or that you're playing for Man United, which is still, you're having a laugh.
I noticed that some United fans would spoof his name and stick an A at the back of it, so it said Lindelof.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a laugh out of that. A good one, a good pun from United fans. Oh God, he's not playing Lindelof again, is he?
Yeah, that's why it's wild and weird. I mean, you got Martinez making 120K, Onana making 120K, Mazarawi making 135K, Luke Shaw. We saw Luke Shaw's workout videos. I showed him on here. Saw him running on the pitch. That guy is making £150,000 a week. I don't want to have a club that is in the position of where Manchester United is. I think where we are with the caliber of players, with the wage structure that we have set up amongst it is phenomenal when you look at what Manchester United is doing with that Titanic of a wage budget and players that are associated with that. We have so often, you know, and that's why I was getting at it. I was like kind of irritated by Flawless's take on salaries, and I'm like, you know, you should just worry about your own team, because your own team is again on the Titanic barge once again. But I'm just going across the sense Liverpool is not in the same bracket when it comes to what Chelsea has with their business, where Manchester United have with their business. They're not even in with Manchester City, where they are with their shady, in my own perspective, business practices. You say what you want, but Liverpool are not in that, or not in that tent, basically. And that's a tent that I don't want to see my club in, regardless of who is the ownership. I don't care if it's FSG or not FSG. I don't want to see us in that tent at all, ever. So there you have it. Okay.
No,
Well,
we ain't going to be in that thing. We ain't going to be
No.
in that thing.
Oh. People in Gladstone shouldn't throw houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one way of putting it.
I think
Yeah,
Max hit
think
you
I
up on
think-
Twitter anyway. But if it's
Oh,
getting
okay.
too late,
Yeah.
then-
You gotta give me a second. Max. Give me a second. I'll look for it as well. Because
But can I just bring up something
okay.
really funny? Well, you know the
Mhm.
way when I say, can I bring up something really funny? Inevitably, it's just something that I find funny. But anyway, I brought up maybe last week, maybe something like that, about how you know, it's kind of like we've seen it all before. There's nothing new under the sun, right? There's nothing new in football, so we all know how these things go. About 4 or 5 days ago, Erling Haaland comes out doing a whole thing about backing Guardiola. Haaland backs Guardiola to get it right, and I just thought it was so funny that just someone like Erling Haaland, only starting out in life, is coming out, and backing the manager. It's sort of like it's one step away from the kind of dreaded vote of confidence, as they say. Lee, you'll back me up on this. That's like when it's going bad is when the owners of the club, but we fully back the manager.
Yeah.
So when you got someone like, so I just thought that was kind of funny. But so today, I don't know if this was Pep being Pep and going, what's going on? But today, so and again, it will have been in response to a question. But Pep Guardiola has come out today and said that Erling Haaland is not to blame for City's slump in the league. So he's come out. It's about all of us. It's not just one player. It's
That
like,
is-
yeah, maybe
No
it's
wonder you
classic.
did that. Did he leave?
Yeah.
It's good
Yeah,
though.
it's like it would be easy if it was just one person. The reason why it's not that Erling is important to us, will be so important to us, has been. We have to try and do things better and use him better.
Well, me dad confident that Everton can get a result on Boxing Day, because it was in his earlier talking to him and said, "What do you think about the City game?" And he went, "I think we can win there." Well, I said,
what did he go? Because I went with the 1-1. I went with
Yeah.
the 1-1.
Yeah, I said 1-1 at first and then changed to a 0-0, didn't I? And said that they held 0-0. But I said that to me out fella before. I said you can get a draw definitely anyway. So there you go. He's hopeful of the result. I just want it to continue for Pep for as long as it possibly can. It deserves to for a while, and we'll see what's what behind the scenes like over the coming months if it carries on and doesn't get better.
Yeah,
Don't necessarily have to keep losing every game, just as long as they can't put like more than 2 wins together for the rest of the season and just totally drift out of the picture.
yeah. That's a Jared. Like I said, when I say something funny, I mean, yeah, it's probably not going to be funny to everybody, but I just found it a little bit amusing.
No, it is funny because you know, Haaland. You know, that was nice of him to come out and back Pep and say he's the right man. He's he's the man. He's going to get it right. And then 5 minutes later, Pep comes out talking about how it's not Haaland's fault that the bit's fine.
Yeah, he's like, don't blame me, bitch. Because you know you're blaming me when you come out in the press and say, oh, it's not his fault. You know you're saying it kind of is my fault, but you're coming out and saying, hey, he needs my support. We all know how this works.
I've loved seeing Bernardo Silva's little bastard face in this horrible run for City. Every time City have got beat, I've really enjoyed looking at Bernardo Silva, looking disconsolate like and really down-hearted. Can't stand that bloke.
Well, yeah, you've had 11. You've had 10 out of the last 11 games to watch him not win. So he's been going around with that mug on his face for a long time, yeah.
And long may it continue. The mean-spirited little dwarf.
Yeah, he needs to go to Turkey and get one of them wigs on, you know? He's going to end up like Pep Guardiola at the end of the day. Yeah, the whole lot of them, man. Like I was saying earlier on, I put it in the chat, Kyle Walker released his own podcast this year called You'll Never Beat Kyle Walker. Absolutely hilarious. Wonderful timing. There's a list of 20 wingers right across Europe going, beat you 3 times last week, mate.
He's been scoring goals, and he Guardiola, but like he's been out off in defence that many times. Like he's got dropped, didn't he? Drop, brought back in, drop, brought back in.
Oh, Guardiola, well, yeah.
Did Ruben Diaz play against who did he lose to last City? United. Who did City lose to most recently? Was it United?
Their most recent loss was the Villa game, right?
Villa, yeah, Villa. So did Ruben Diaz start that game, did he, against Villa? Do you know?
Not sure.
I never saw the starting lineup. I just saw the highlights. And it really only showed you, like, really, the 3 goals. But I saw. But no, I was just wondering if Ruben Diaz was carrying on in defence. Because I knew he was back, like, he turned, didn't he, against us. No Kovacic was back. That's one thing to do now. I think that's his idea, isn't it? When Kovacic just stick to him and Gundogan play as a just sort of double pivot with 3 in front of them, De Bruyne, Silva, and whoever, and then Haaland. So if he's got them fit, they might like right themselves, mightn't they, and start getting points. But it's more than likely that they will sometime soon. I'm just enjoying seeing them struggle. It's just fun. I think most people are. I think it doesn't mean you're a bad person at all, does it? Like they deserve to fucking struggle, Man City, after what they've been up to. Couldn't happen to a nicer club.
What there's one for you from Jared. Would anyone take Sancho for 20 million and 100k? I don't think you're getting him 100k a week, but
nah, not for me.
Like Tuffman put up there earlier on, they're getting him to Chelsea are going to have to pay 25 million for him. By the looks of it. Yeah, no.
I wouldn't pay it for him. I'm not really a fan. I know he's an alright player, but I wouldn't want him here after being. He's been at United. He's been now he's at. But no, I wouldn't want him here at our club.
Yeah, he's been at City. He's been at Man United. Been at Chelsea. Pretty much, other than Real Madrid, he's pretty much created or completed the whole.
Yeah, like a holy trinity. Well, he hasn't played forever. He hasn't played.
Other than them, yeah. Give him time. Give him time. When he's 38, they'll probably sign him up on 100 grand a week.
Seems how he didn't play forever.
I don't see I'm looking for your message, Max. I don't see one in my inbox here. I'll get it worked out. We'll save you a spot for the next time because we're only going to be on for not too much longer. But I wanted to get into some of these things as well because I know that, yeah, there's no way, there's no way I would. That's crazy. 20 million though. I mean, we're again. I think this goes to show you that sometimes some of these prices, would have your face looking like this.
What did I think they 80?
Aiden Sancho for what? On
I think it was
Liverpool?
89 million United paid for him. I think it was 89 million United paid for him. Something like that.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah.
paid, that might be euros, but like maybe 72 or 75 million like pounds at the time.
Yeah,
But yeah, like to end up selling him for like
He's a quality player.
25 million quid.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'd be making that
Embarrassing.
face at that. Like, how can you lose? Yeah, United, man. Like, honestly, yeah, that Fabinho face says it all. Like, you buy a player like Sancho, he goes to Chelsea, he looks brilliant again. So now
Well,
they want to
What?
buy him, and you're taking a £60 million loss on him.
Anthony
Yeah.
was even dearer, wasn't he?
Gee.
He was even dearer, wasn't he, from Ajax than what Sancho was from
Oh,
Dortmund?
Anthony costs like 80 million
90.
as well.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
it's just-
huge, wasn't he?
That's
What's
just
happened to him?
mad.
Is he coming back or anything, or are they getting rid of him? I haven't
No,
seen
he's not getting rid. Lee. He's been starting game coming off the bench
it.
here and there and starting games. Yeah, so I think he'll get reasonable game time. But again, from what I've heard, again, I don't know if it's true or not. He's played quite decent coming off the bench. So who cares? He will see, but who cares, mate? I thought it's struggling. But with Sancho, he's a quality player, man. He's just the wrong. He just made the mistake of going United. Look when he went to Dortmund for half a season. He balled out. They went to the Champions League final within
They
90
did.
minutes of winning
They
the
did.
league. So it's just
when
the
he
wrong
went
club.
back, you mean? When he went back,
Yeah, when he went back. Yeah.
When
It's
he
just
went,
United. That's all it is. Yeah.
yeah.
I wanted him to. I wanted us to buy him when before he went to Man United when he was available, but obviously we didn't.
Yeah.
And fortunately, because of United and Liverpool, we can't go there. So Chelsea will reap the benefits, which they are. So fair play, mate. can't say anything fairer than that.
Mhm.
Definitely
United,
so. Definitely so.
what you like to
Oh,
do.
let's do something happy though too. I would like to include happy birthday to Maka, by the way. It is his birthday today.
Yes,
He turns
I heard.
26.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah. He doesn't look 26, by the way. I'll admit that. But yes,
Oh,
that's all good.
Jesus.
No, I didn't say Jesus wasn't 26. I
Yeah, I
said,
think I say happy birthday to Jesus. Yeah,
oh,
man,
no,
you
no.
came pretty close to the old.
No.
You don't want it, like I said. You don't want to be born on Christmas Day if you celebrate it because you just lose a birthday.
I better,
Worst
get,
thing
I
you
better
can
get double the presents, I guess.
Yeah.
do. Some people do, but other people say they don't because, like, apparently, like it is like really bad because it's just like you get a little bit like 5 minutes in the morning, but it's Christmas. So you kind of apparently it's a real pain in the ass. Yeah, you get 2 presents, but
Well,
other than Jesus, you don't want to be born on Christmas Day.
yeah. I would say there was this meme, or not meme, but this is starting to pop up as a meme, whereas a shout out for Trent and his abilities and the likes. This was a celebration that you guys were talking about. You haven't seen in a while, but it was cool to see the shoe shine celebration. But yeah, there was something I was going to share, which is, let's see if I can share this with you. Make sure the sound's off. But if you were to be able to see something, I agree. This shoe shine celebration is good, but all things considered,
Oh yeah, on the touchline. Yeah, the drivel. No. Yeah.
Rainbow.
You want to talk about shining in some shoes? I know I'm probably clipping a little bit, but yeah, Pedro Porto
No,
needs to be keeping
good.
that shirt on and shining Lucho's shoes.
Well, that'd be weird, but yeah.
Hey,
Good celebration, though. I enjoyed that.
it'd be weird if he took his shirt off to shine his shoes. I think it'd be even weirder. But I mean, like,
That'd be really fucking weird if he said, "Here, come here, you come back now. That was too good. Come here now." Tottenham fans looking, what the hell are you doing?
but all
Yeah.
things considered, this is the you know, is I know Boxing Day, that the term Boxing Day is where, you know, presents were
Everyone
given.
goes out and gets drunk and starts beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, the essence of Boxing Day has definitely transitioned over the years, but in the spirit of the holidays and the giving season, I would like to also give a shout out to some of the more charitable teams in the league. And you know, some say that we are often harsh against our rivals. I wouldn't say such. I would say that we note when they do generous and good things. So I wanted to make sure that we give a shout out to um, the boys in blue of Manchester here. And this is something that they were apparently doing. Apparently giving out, this is their Christmas cheer, giving out 3 points to teams all throughout the Premier League. Big up to Manchester City, as they just can't get enough of the generosity that they have in their heart. Love them.
Oh, those citizens, don't we just love them?
I mean, like, you know, it's tough. It is tough, though. It is tough in this part of the year. I mean, there are those that, you know, will say that are not feeling good this year. Again, it's the red side of Manchester. But I mean, like, it is tough seeing people, you know, a little bit down and not feeling good. But it is good to see that they do have a promotional little advertisement that they are trying to, you know, get his spirits up, and they have brought out a new promotional for Bruno, and this is now apparently the campaign ad that they're going with. So, you know, big up to Bruno and his new campaign ad. That's what's up. Good for you. It's always a time and place for it, but it's all good.
It's a cool bit.
Oh, very harsh. Oh, I know people are gonna think I'm the Grinch or something right now, but it's all good. It's all good because some of us at the Christmas table or at the table, we all want to be conservative with our eating and everything. We want to be have a little bit of sense of humbleness in our hearts and the likes. So I guess, you know, we all must consider to be not eating too much humble pie. Just make sure that we don't go too far. Just push away from the table sometimes. So.
Why have you put Tracy Neville up? Why is she relevant? Oh, I see.
She's looking hot today, man. She's looking hot. She's looking hot tonight, Grace. That's the best I've ever seen her looking, man.
Oh man. But it is definitely in all due honesty.
Humble Pie, great band with Steve Marriott. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pie.
Yeah.
Very true.
Steve Marriott's band, yeah, Humble Pie.
But in all due honesty, though, truly,
I think he had the custard instead. I think Haaland had the custard with Humble Pie instead of, you know, the low fat.
Yeah,
option. I think he's had full custard. Yeah, he's gone for the full custard with the Humble Pie every single time.
There you go. I did have another one, but I was told it was a little bit too harsh.
Oh God, no! You're not sure. No! Please,
a little too harsh for the one I had.
Yeah, no.
We'll save that maybe for another time.
No, he looks like a custard gannet. Haaland, definitely a custard gannet.
But truly, I will.
No, you can show the people. You can show the people, and you can tell them that, like, this is what you wanted to show, and I just thought this for me. People think I'm harsh I didn't want to show
now
this.
I'm not gonna
Like,
show it. No, I'm not gonna show it. That's all good. I'll keep it 100. This is truly what the Christmas or the holiday spirit is supposed to be about. Whether you celebrate Christmas, whether you don't celebrate Christmas, though, there is at least it can allow for us to focus. We should focus on this kind of spirit 365 days a year. But if there is going to be one certain day, at least we can start with one and move from there as to pushing towards the entire year, calendar year of being able to give the spirit of what this means to us. And that is a little shout out from our team here, showing a little bit of the holiday spirit and everything else. But so shout out to our Reds out there. Really, really cool pick. It's cool to see Trey Neoni's in there, in this pick. Cool to see it. Definitely cool to see it.
that ain't by
I think it's
accident,
one of the
though.
only. I think he might be the only Youth Academy player that's really.
Yeah, that shit doesn't happen by accident.
Yeah.
Like, to be told that you're needed at 2 p.m. and you're like, why am I needed at 2 p.m.? It's because we're doing a photo shoot with the first team, and you're needed for a first team photo shoot.
I think
Bobby
McConnell.
Clark
I think
is being
McConnell's
told
there
that.
too.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
McConnell's
Like,
there.
if you're being told that, that means that's we see those as that's a huge thing in that world.
Yeah.
To be told that you are needed for a first team photograph. We see he's just this guy in a picture. No, you've been told, no, don't go home, or you're needed for something later on. It's a first team thing. That is fucking huge. To a young kid like that says you're part of this. You're not part. Yeah, you train with the under 23s, you do your thing. But that to me that says to him, he's going to go home floating on air. Not that he would, it's just like, guess what happened today? What? They called all the first team up for a photo and I was in it.
Yeah.
That's little things, man. Little things.
Yeah. Great sign. Definitely. I see Jaden Dans is there too. I see Jaden Dans there as well. It's a good shout too for Jaden. And I think McConnell's there. So those are three definitely inspired.
No
pictures.
Darwin Nunes, I see. No Darwin Nunes, I see. I'm only joking.
Yeah. I don't think Darwin is in this picture, to be honest with you.
I thought I seen Henderson at the back then, but it's not him.
Jordan Henderson's after sneaking back.
Yeah,
into
Jordan
the
Henderson
building.
just
It looks like he's like
back.
he's the one closest to the top of the screen in the center at the top. It looks like Henderson.
I think that's Harvey Elliott.
Where at the top of the screen, the one that's got the big
Right
smile.
smack. Yeah, right.
Center.
Back in the middle, yeah.
That's
Is
Robbo.
Joe
actually.
Gomez? Is it Robbo? Is Joe Gomez
that's Robbo.
and
Yeah.
someone be? Oh, it's Robbo. Oh yeah, it is Robbo.
Yeah, there's Harvey at the front, and
oh yeah, there's Harvey. Yeah, there's Harvey. Yeah.
No, Darwin's there. Darwin is there. I can see him I can see his man bun.
Oh, I know.
He's the one that has the top of his hat covering his face there. Yeah, it's a good picture. It's a good picture, definitely. So, shout out to our Manchester rivals with their new campaigns that they're embarking on, with their promotional campaigns, and then with the charitable givings that they're giving out, as well as we all saw with the 3 points being handed out to a lot of the teams in the league right now from Manchester City. Definitely. Geez, it is going to be a good holiday to get through. We have Leicester on our horizon. Real quick, are we feeling good about the game, or are we worried about this game? Are we looking? I don't want to say we're looking past this game, but should we be concerned about this game? How are you feeling about this game coming up? Nolante, how are you feeling about this game coming up? What we have on the books?
I'm looking to West Ham.
You're looking for because it's a away match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Leicester shouldn't, unless we have the worst game of our life and every player is poor, then yeah, we're winning this. It's just by how many. That's all it is.
Yeah. How about for you, JK?
But the Leicester game and the West Ham game, yeah.
Leicester game, yeah.
For me,
For the Leicester game, you can comment on the West Ham game too. Those are the two games that we have before we have to officially call it 2025. The last two games on the books for us are West Ham away and Leicester at home.
Yeah, like for me, the Leicester game, we need a clean sheet in that game. You know, the opponents, they lost 3-0 last week, and yeah, 3 points.
What's more important? What's more important to you then? And we'll go JK, Lee, and Irishman, but then we'll also ask Lante on the follow through. Is it more important to see our offense still, firing on all cylinders and get maybe a 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 something style goal tally at the end of this of a Leicester team that shouldn't be really competing with us? Or is it more important that you see us get a clean sheet and it be 2-0 or maybe a 1-0 match against Leicester at home, by the way?
Yeah, at home, for me, 3 points, the first thing on the agenda.
Sure.
Clean sheet is the second. So for me, I'd take it a 2-0.
Okay.
For me in football, the main thing is it don't matter how much goals you get, how much you concede, as long as you get the 3 points. So for me, this one, get the 3 points, and if there's time to have fun, let's have that time to have fun and get some goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could have a performance that night Lucas referencing there when we won 4-0 against Leicester.
Yeah.
We'd have that type of performance, it'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Because we were relentless all night, weren't we, in that game? We didn't let them have a sniff, did we?
Yeah.
It was just
Leicester and West Ham are two teams that aren't necessarily pulling up trees this year. So we should do something. He will.
I'll take any type of win, but yes, I would like us to continue with the theme we started against Spurs of scoring an awful lot of goals. I hope Jota's part of this. Just anyone, I don't care who scores as long as we get loads of goals. I would say 3 would be what I'd be looking for to increase our goal difference by in this game. So whether that's a 5-2 or a 4-1 or a 3-0, I don't know, but I'd be looking to increase the goal difference by 3 against Leicester. That's what I'd be pleased with. But I will take any type of win as well. I'll take a 1-0, of course.
Okay. How about for you, Brian?
We will absolutely batter them. Yeah. I think it's Boxing Day. It's 8 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 8 o'clock kickoff. Everybody in Liverpool on the beer for the day, full of Christmas cheer. The atmosphere is going to be amazing. Off the back of a brilliant result at home, under the lights. The whole thing is ready to go, man. It's ready to pop.
Well, what would you rather? What would you take if you had if it was a 5-1 victory or a let's say 2-0 victory? Which one?
No, I'll get there. I'll get
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, I really think we're going to be yeah. I get what you're saying. You might get a classic kind of boxing. There will be goals tomorrow. There'll be going to be a lot. Not tomorrow, on Thursday.
On Thursday,
a lot of goals, a lot of games. There'll be results all over, things that you backing on. Nah, you got to walk away from. But us at home to Leicester, I think, unfortunately for them, if you're out there, look, man, I wish you all the best luck in the world. I know you're going to be there. I know you're going to be at the stadium, so fair play to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're going to be witnessing a bit of a Tonkin, and I hope you just have a good day out, because 4-0. Yeah, 4-0, man, 4-0. I don't see the threat there. The only threat is just, shit just happens, but 9 times out of 10 we play Leicester, we beat them. This one 4-0. I think we're going to go we're going to really beat. Yeah. I don't want to be disrespectful, but we're going to tonk them.
Our goal difference is 3 better than Chelsea and Arsenal with 1 game less played. I'd imagine Arsenal are going to tonk Ipswich. I want that extra point of having the best goal difference. Like, in a couple of months' time, I hope our goal difference is so much better than anyone else's that it is an extra point.
That's a good question. I was just about to ask.
I want to see more goals.
Yeah.
Arsenal smack Ipswich.
Right. I think. Okay, I was just making sure. Yeah, I see that. I think it will be tough I saw Bernie put in there about the new state. I think they're moving into their new stadium in the new year. So
is it? It's next season, isn't it?
Next season, I mean, by saying
next season.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It says it's officially confirmed by the club that Everton will move into their new stadium at the beginning of the 2025 season, as opposed to midway through the 24-25 campaign. So
it makes sense.
Originally, they were considering moving in because it'll be done. It'll be done by.
That's why I want the extra point of the goal difference being better than the others, because we can't guarantee winning that Everton game.
Right. Yeah, you can't
really hard that Everton game.
But you can always hope for it. Yeah, I'd like to. I definitely would like to be able to get one last crack at getting a W at that ground. Actually, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, seal it with a win.
Yes, seal it with a win for sure.
I've many good wins there over the years, but been beaten many times. Obviously, lots of draws too. It's just you can never call a derby. Really, it is very hard to call. Although we have been very good in the Klopp era, like before that, it was mixed.
Mm-hmm. I think we're in danger of becoming very myopic there and insular, because I mean, you just said there, I'd love to win the last derby at Goodison, I mean, like no fucking shit, right? How much do you think they want to win
big
the
time
last derby at Goodison?
Yeah.
This to them, they are going to go out there turned up to a fucking thousand.
I'll be honest, I'm not overly hard.
Yeah.
We win the last derby at Goodison or not, as long as we win the league. As long as we win the league, I don't care if it means
there's these Everton side coming out there.
Yeah, I'm about to say, is your dad sitting next to you or something like that? Is that why?
Once a red, always a blue.
No, I fully accept us not winning there, like even losing, as long as we win the league.
Nah, bro. Look, for me, it was last season. What they did to us, we need to get revenge for that game.
Exactly, JK. Exactly. I remember that game clear in my head. We were awful. That was one of the
awful that game.
That was
the worst game of the season alongside Man United.
I think it's one of the worst games we played at Everton, actually.
There's no desire, no fight.
Because that Everton side was so bad and in such bad form, and they turned us over. It was like, what?
Big time.
Yeah,
horrible that was.
Yeah, that was. I was fuming, honestly. Yeah, Salah, everyone was bad trash. That was alongside the Man United performance, honestly.
Yeah,
I was interested.
Showing fucking Evan.
Yeah. But the derby, we all know this. Derby games are always, it doesn't matter. They could lose 10 games in a row against us. They'll always turn up, and we know this. So when the time comes, I think Walter Slot, he's a new manager, and he'll remind them, and we just have to come to ourselves, be who we are. That's all it is, really. And with the haters, 12, like Dharma-san, they're flawless, you know what they say? Block out the noise, of the marks, Sometimes you just got to block out the noise from the other side.
You do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do. Yeah, absolutely do. There's nothing that blocks out the noise better than winning. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Nothing blocks it out better than winning. That's why it's tough. It's tough to hear. It's like sometimes I know our rivals, our neutrals, and even some of the fans that don't believe in this pursuit of glory, aren't
Fair
fully
enough, Luke.
sold, aren't fairly sold on this team and the capabilities or even the possibilities that they might achieve. Let me say this. You have to talk up a little bit louder because it's hard to hear you all the way at the top of the league. All the way at the top of this mountain where we sit. It's just so hard to hear you. So I'm just looking off into the horizon, enjoying the view. And it's like, I want to say the Will Ferrell line. It's glorious. It's glorious. It's glorious.
Oh, yes, yes. more than you can believe. More than you can believe.
Right? Oh, man.
Can I just say, like, sorry, I know you're gonna turn. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. As much as a top, I am nervous because there's twice this happened to us. 18, 19, no, 18, yeah, 18, 19, and 2021. We were top both times, and we were proud to win the league. And obviously, the 18-19, the draws cost us. It was agonizing. Obviously, the European Cup was a celebration, but the agonizing that 1 point. And obviously, we know what happened 2021. We were top. Defenders got injured, and then we just lost the lead, and then we battled to stay in the top four, which we did. So, yeah, I mean, as good as it is, let's just hope this won't be another edition. And let's just... Yeah, oh boy, yeah, and this is why I'm waiting. It's going to be a long time before I can say yes, because there's a lot of bumps and roads and hills and darts and arrows to come the way. So we'll take it game by game and let's see. Let's just see.
Yeah, because I know. I was on on the part of the chat and had to listen to the fake Don out there, and he was getting battered actually because of the whole the whole leopard in the tree thing this thing he's gotten going on, and people saying they're leopards and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't know about you. I'm a red. I'm not a leopard, But anyway, but I couldn't get over this sheer fact that a lot of people are a little bit, struck or don't want to be confident enough to say, oh, we feel confident that that we can contend. If not, we can get this done. I know you can get clipped up out there, and that's a big essence of what YouTube is all about. Is having someone say something. They're trying to urge you into saying something that you might regret if it doesn't pan out the way that it was. But more so when it comes to this year, I'm just saying, enjoy what it is right now. I mean, just enjoy it. You don't have to be, to the point where you're being really, braggadocious or the likes. But the reality of it is that we're at the top of the league right now. We pushed out to now 4 points and still have a game in hand. And just as Nalante said, I am very well aware of the fact that, we've been in this position before, being atop of the league at Christmas and not making it to the finish line. But I'm going to enjoy the race all the way.
Can't wait to find out if we play in the Champions League. When's the draw then for the Champions League made? When's the draw for the...
Oh, we still have two more. We still have at least two more
games. You got three.
It's at the end of February that you get the draw
No.
in France.
It'd be way before that league.
Yeah, because you got two more games, then you'll have the
January
playoff thing.
Yeah,
for all the teams that didn't go through in the top 8, then they'll have to play.
Yeah, so
there's loads of shit to go before that happens. We play 2 more games, then you have the whole round. Yeah, that shit. Then you find out who's the final 8 that goes into last 16.
Yeah,
so until that. So it's 4 more games actually.
We got to go.
They're 2-legged. Yeah, we play 2 more things, then you have 2 more games in that playoff round.
Yeah.
Then so there's 4 more rounds of games basically to go.
Yeah, for some teams, and thank God that's not us.
Yeah, two
we're
for
clear
us.
with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 for us and 4 for everybody who finishes between 8 and whatever it is.
9 and 24.
Yeah, figure out the last 8. And then, so that's going to be late January, definitely. Imagine before they even tell you, like, oh, whoever, you'll know, like, we will play the winner of. You might know that much.
Right.
Before
We might wrap up our spot, and then therefore we'll play whatever club ends up being this.
Yeah,
We'll
whoever
end up
wins
playing
11th
against
versus
whoever makes it out of
18th
that
or
playoff round into the spot that plays the number 1 team. That's about all we'll know, but we won't know much of more than that.
Well, we've already had a
Also,
little bit, haven't we, this year? We've got Munich as well. Who else will be a threat to us this year? City a threat, or Arsenal a threat in the Champions League? Really?
Kind of. I mean, because we just Arsenal, we need to be clear of them, and we need to start winning games again against Arsenal. Yeah, for some reason we just it's been average.
Do you reckon we beat Inter Milan in the knockout stages?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
I tell you the truth, there's only one team really looks sort of dangerous: Barcelona.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no. Defensively, they're suspect.
Yeah, defensively, but attacking wise, looking good.
Yeah. But Barcelona, we can get at them. You can get at them. I wouldn't.
I also, before we do bounce, because we have about 5 more minutes left of the show, I do want to make a point of note out for all those people that were trying to say that they're leopards or whatever in the tree BS and stuff with the Hussein thing that he's trying to get going and yada yada. You got to keep in mind this is someone that represents us that doesn't even know what a liver bird is, to tell you the truth. A liver bird is not a peacock, Hussein. When he was on today's show on the Football Terrace, the fake Don Hussein said that the liver bird is basically a peacock.
All I want for Christmas is a non-Hussam year, please.
No, it's a mythical creature, Hussam.
We know it's a mythical bird, and it has folklore that is attached to it, and also has relevance to the city, but is not a peacock. Peacock is 1, a real bird, and 2, peacock has many varied colors in it. 1, I don't even know if a peacock flies, first off.
No, I don't think they do.
No, they don't. No.
So like you hear this is the person that's going to sit on a lot of these panels and sit there and talk about Liverpool.
Well,
And if you don't believe me, trust, I can get the clip and share
I'm sure I don't need. Yeah. No.
I can certainly share it with you because they're going on. They're trying to put an end to his silliness about the leopard and everything else. Because
real bird that can fly. If you were going to pick a real bird, like you'd pick one that could fly. That's one of the things about the liver bird is that it can fly.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you're just like, oh man, yeah.
Well, on a positive note.
I just want to make sure I got that out there, because that was just annoying. It was bad enough I had to sit there and listen to this dude represent us on this panel that had about 2,000 people watching it at the time or something ridiculous. But here I am saying to myself, this guy doesn't even know what a liver bird is. I'm just like, yeah, bro.
I don't think it looks like a peacock, does it? When you look at a chart, you think of what a peacock looks
It looks
like.
Nothing like a peacock. That's why I didn't even understand. I didn't even understand how he can make
like
that.
Anything.
Yeah, they don't look anything alike whatsoever.
It's not
crazy.
I see a dragon. That doesn't look like a dragon. What the fuck does a dragon look like? There are no dragons.
Yeah,
it's like draw whatever the fuck you want, call it a liver bird, but don't say no. It should look more like a peacock. I mean,
yeah,
no,
I think he looks more like a peacock. To be honest with you.
I think he looks like kind of basically if a if one of the Muppets from the Muppet Show
Oh
could be a
goodness, I know
human, I
exactly
think
what you're
he
doing with that
looks
one. Stop.
he he is like a human Muppet. He's basically like the closest thing like to a Muppet that's a
Yeah,
human.
yeah. I guess he could be the he's the one with the he could be the Muppet with the one that's in the lab coat one. He could be that one. Since he
Beaker.
is a
Beaker.
chemical engineer or something like that.
No, I think he's more of a Bert in Bert and Ernie.
Oh, maybe that. Maybe.
Definitely more of a.
The point is, bro. The point is, my red.
I
Just
like
if you're gonna sit there and represent us, at least
my
represent us correctly. You know what I mean? Like,
I
don't
just
saying those kinds of things make not only you look stupid, it makes those of us that are reds feel like we're being represented by stupid. And stupid is as stupid does. So
don't watch them. Don't have anything to do with them. Go and watch Home Alone. It's Christmas Eve. Go and watch Home Alone. Go do something Christmas Eve. Get all syrupy. Get all sentimental.
there you go.
It's fucking Christmas Eve. Forget about these idiots out there. And yes, if there are, by the way, if I know Nilante is online, if there are any kids out there, it's getting very late, getting very
Oh,
dark.
yeah,
And if
definitely.
you want Santa Claus to come to you tonight, I think you better get to bed.
Yeah.
You better get to bed. If any kids out there want Santa Claus, you want to come? Get to bed.
Put the cookies
You should
out.
already be in bed. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure the cookies are out, and the milk, and get to.
It's nearly.
bed.
Yeah. If you want to wake up a present tomorrow, if you're up right now, watching, you're up too late if you're waiting for Santa Claus. So go to bed.
Right.
Definitely.
So, with that said, we're going to allow for everyone to enjoy the rest of their holiday. Again, whether you celebrate Christmas or not, I hope that it's a fantastic day for you, a fantastic evening or fantastic morning. Whenever you're watching this, I hope that I hope it's a beautiful day for you, regardless. As a red, that's from one red to another. I honestly do sincerely mean that, because a good day for you means it's a good day for us reds. That's how I see it. So, as a collective, I'd like to allow for all of us to say goodbye. So I'll say, Brian, do you want to say something to people before we bounce?
Yeah, I like the fact that all of the adults in the chat are telling me to fuck off for the message that was for children. So yeah,
There you go.
all of the adults, make sure you leave out a bottle of Guinness and something for Santa. Okay, and a card for Rudolph. That's
There you
your
go.
job as adults. Okay,
There
your
you go.
job is to leave out the bottle of Guinness for Santa and a card for Rudolph. A mince pie if you want to be weird, but yeah, the kids should be in bed. So yeah, okay. We all know what. Yeah, come on, it's Christmas Eve. Come on,
Yeah.
get it together, folks.
And Lee, you want to say something to people before we bounce?
Just have a nice Christmas, everyone. Whatever you're up to, be safe out there and have fun. I'll see you again soon.
Okay. And let's see. JK?
Yeah,
Would you like
man.
to say something?
Everyone had a good laugh today, talking about everything from A to Z about football.
Mhm.
Have a good holiday, everyone, and don't eat too much. We got a game on Thursday.
There you go. We do not want to look like Holland did in that photo.
We're like, welcome to the from our birth to man.
Right.
Bless Philip Bedwell, Luke.
Malante.
Psychedelic scientist, long time no see. Hope you're cool, bro.
Oh, definitely. Psychedelic scientist. Big up, brother.
Yes,
Go ahead,
Luke.
Malante. What would
Yes,
you like
sir.
to say to people?
Yeah.
Big up the whole chat.
No, big up the chat as always now.
Yeah,
But what I will say
better.
is I will be serious for just a quick brief minute and I'll get back to good vibes. Like for me, like I said personally, I know we've got a couple of days of the year, and for me, this has been one of the worst years of my life in different ways. But what I will say is that it's been a blessing, obviously, for this podcast 12 the boys in the back, we also we communicate every day, and you guys in the chat, and obviously the team doing well. So what I will say is blessings to all of you, and in turn, you wouldn't have known, and the boys on the chat, they know it just a little bit, but you've kind of helped me stay sane this year. So big up the boys as always, you know, the boys and you guys in the chat. You don't know how much you're appreciated, honestly. But on that note, let's just change the subject because I don't want to get all deep and all that. But yeah, everyone enjoyed the Christmas, top of the league, top of the charts, and let old toilet start falling down, and City have 1-3-0 charges coming. Up the Reds, top of the league. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy. And also with your children, if you've got any children, as me, enjoy with the children, grandchildren, everyone, as everyone will be making so much noise that I want to put you to sleep. But there you go. Hey ho. And I will be leaving to watch reruns of beating old toilets, Real Madrid, Man City, and Spurs right now. Good night, all. Good night.
Enjoy.
There you go, man.
There you go. There you go. Well said. And also, yes, that's what it's all about, is definitely being supportive of each other, trying to certainly allow for us to be there in times of need, especially for our brethren. And it does mean something. I hope that you, by now you can see that it does mean something, not only to those in the panel, but it certainly means something to all of us as Reds in general. So definitely want to make sure that's been understood. But we will, I don't know if we will have a Christmas episode or not, but we will, again, wish you all a joyous holiday. And we will be back for a roll call for Boxer Day. That's for certain. And yeah, it's going to be, it's beginning to look a slot like Christmas for sure. So so there you go. So there you go. There you go. Right. Oh man. Yeah, big up. And I'm trying to get this to work. It does not want to work for me here. Let me see if I can get this done real quick before. Let me see if it'll work here. 1 second. Let me make sure. Oh, no, it's not going to work. Hold on. I know there's a lot of anticipation for this. Let me see if I can get to work. And here we go. Okay, hold on 1 second. The anticipation is so great. But let me see. Hopefully this works. We'll see if it does.
You're just trying to give the safest answer you can.
You definitely want to make sure.
You know, good deal. You know, Raven.
I just want to make sure. Enjoy the gravy at your table. That took a long time to get set up. I'm sorry it took so long to get set up, but hopefully it was worth the wait. Let's get it in. So therefore, we will see you soon, people. And like I said, as always, up the Reds, people. Up the Reds. Definitely blessings to each and every one of you, and we will see you soon.